I've always believed that comics is a legitimate art form, and it was so frustrating being in college. Like, there are certain artists that were allowed into the curriculum and certain artists that weren't. And I would always ask them, like, you know, when I was back in school for painting and printmaking, like, we could look at Andy Warhol, we could look at Ansel Kiefer or David Sally or somebody. But I was like, well, what about Jack Kirby? Like, can we look at Jack? Like, no, that's comic books. And then it's like, okay, well then, is it merely money? Like, do you just want to see some money? Here's Frank Frazetta, motherfucker. You happy now? You know? But then it's like, that's not enough. There is something that's very special to comics that makes it a different art medium. You know, the French call it the ninth, right? We already have dance, poetry, literature, music, right? Go on the line. And then eventually comics is something, it's a weird hybrid of storytelling and picture making. And I think it's its own medium. It's special. It really is.
I'm back. Hello, everybody. I'm back. Holy moly, it has been a long freaking time since I've done this. So get ready for all the mistakes and boomerisms and whatever's going to happen. I know you guys have missed it. I know you've missed my boomer ways. But I am back. I'm back. I went on quite a trip and actually got back home 2 days ago, 1.5 days ago, 2 days ago. I don't know. I'm crazy jet lagged actually. So this will be interesting. I've never live streamed jet lagged before, so this will be a first. But welcome to my channel. Welcome back, everyone. We forgot how to do this. My name is, I know my name. My name is Rocky Ballesteros. And this is my YouTube channel, which has been AWOL, missing in action, for the last 4 weeks. I was doing the thumbnail, I think it was, and I was like, holy cow, I think my last thumbnail was July 14th, and it's August 15th now. My goodness. I wasn't gone for 4 weeks. I was gone for about 3. It was quite a long vacation, but leading up to it, I couldn't, the timing of it evolved. But so I haven't been able to stream for 4 weeks, but I've been gone for about 3. So anyway, I was in Asia. I was totally in Asia visiting family and also just going on vacation with my family. So that was a lot of fun. I'll tell you guys more about that as the stream goes, but I've missed this. I've totally missed streaming with you guys. It's been a minute, and I had a lot of comics backlogged. I was a little nervous about that because I was like, I don't know. I don't want to buy comics that I would get in America when I'm in Asia. So I was looking forward to like seeing what the Asian market would be like, which as many of you can imagine, it's pretty focused on manga over there. So I wasn't sure if I was going to pick up anything. I didn't know what stores were going to be like over there. That's always the fun thing about traveling to a new location, of discovering what and how comics are viewed over there. So that was cool. And I'll share some of that with you guys in this stream. But also it was just a time to just kind of step away, to unplug, literally unplug from a lot of the noise and the normal routine. And so yeah, it was good. It was a great, great trip. I went to Korea, and Seoul specifically in Korea, and I also went to Singapore, which is where my wife is from, and where my wife's family is from. And so that was really, really fun because we had to spend a lot of time with old friends and family and cousins and grandparents and great grandparents, and it was amazing. It was really great, and it's been a while since we've been back, so that's why it was an extended time, because we hadn't seen a lot of those people. And whenever you travel to the other side of the world, you kind of want to make it worth it, because you fight jet lag, you fight travel, and you got to make that time worth it. So we were able to carve out a good chunk of time to do both of those locations. I had never been to Korea before. I don't know if any of you guys had been to Korea, but that was amazing. And there was a lot, outside of comics, that was a lot of amazing things to do there. So it was really, really fun. I definitely want to share all that with you and catch up with the comics that I missed, quite a few comics that I missed. And then I got a package in the mail, which I'll unbox at the beginning of this, but holy cow, I want to catch up with you guys. Oh, and I did a couple tweaks. There's a couple tweaks to the channel. We're almost at 600 subscribers, which that happened while I was gone. Kind of crazy. Like I said, I was unplugged from YouTube, but every now and then I would check and I'm like, oh, well, look at you there. The subscribers jumped. And also, oh, I forgot to get the screenshot off my phone. What do I do? How would I do this? Oh, I guess I can share it. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll share my screen in a second. But I got a cool announcement there. Anyway, let me catch up with all of you guys first. Let me shoot the fat. How do we do this? That's how we do this. Let me shoot the fat with you guys. This little section I like to call Shoot the Fat. Just a time to catch up with the chat. It has been a while. We have not talked for a while. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me. There was a lot of people that I normally watch who stream that didn't stream while I was gone too. So I felt totally like disconnected from the community, from the YouTube community. Like Shanth didn't stream that much, if I'm not mistaken. And I also had we had Wi-Fi while we were over there, but most of the time we were out and about. So I was on limited data. So it's not like I'm going to go all the way to Korea or Singapore and sit there and watch YouTube while I was doing that. So, but I did notice that a lot of the people that I normally watch who normally stream weren't streaming. So what the heck? What's going on, people? Do you need me to come back in here and like kick the tires on the car a little bit to get people to start streaming again? I actually haven't talked to Shanth since I've been back, so I need to like hit him up with a text, see how he's doing. So yeah, lots to catch up on. But this is the little section we like to call Shoot the Fat, and I want to catch up with all of you guys. Comrade Sammy, I haven't heard your sound effects in a million years, all of you. How are you doing, Comrade Sammy? Long time no see, absolutely. How you doing? How you been? It's been a while. I hope you're well. Emo Trash hit me up. She hit me up on Instagram a couple times, so I did like kind of exchange a couple messages with her. But yes, your eyes deceive you. It is me. Changed my avatar. Oh, that's another thing. I had all these grand ideas that I would be posting while I was over there, but to be honest, I was so busy like running around, being a tourist, hanging out with family, that I really didn't have time to post at all. And I didn't really have much of a setup to do it, just my phone. But as you guys have noticed, I changed my avatar to my channel, to my social network channels like X and Instagram. And is that the only other one? Yeah, and YouTube, obviously. But I changed it. If you see that little red insignia, this was one of the cool things that I found in Korea while I was there. How do I do this? I forgot how to do all this stuff. Yeah, that's kind of cool, but that's also kind of small. Let me zoom in here and get my keyboard out of the way. But I went to this little like side. It was like this side. I guess that's about as clear as it's gonna get. It was this side store in Korea. We were in this one section of Korea called Insadong. Pronunciation's really hard for the Korean language, at least hard for me. And a guy, he was like carving. Oh, here it is. This is so cool. He was carving in like, I've had these done before, like marble, the little insignias, like stamps. And I've had one done before a long, long time ago. Somebody did one for me. I believe it was my wife. She did one for me with, it was like, if you translated my name phonetically into Chinese characters. So it has like, literal Chinese characters carved into it, which is cool. It's a cool pattern. But I saw that this guy was doing it with like English letters, and he had such a cool, this is his kind of natural handwriting style. He has had such a cool style. And I saw different examples he did of other people's names. So I was like, oh, that would be so cool to do a stamp of my name. So I did one, and I was actually like talking to him because I'm like, I want the Q to be a capital Q. I don't want to be a lowercase q because it often gets confused with like a G or like a P or whatever. Like people get confused if they don't know it's a Q. But I do like the way that he wrote lowercase letters. So anyway, I told him to mix it up, and then he was concerned that it didn't fill the space, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I told him I wanted it to be reversed like it was. So, but he carved this in like 15, 20 minutes, like while I was there, and then stamped it on this paper. And I thought it turned out so cool. What do you guys think? So I was like, that would make such a cool profile picture. So that's what I did. I made it my profile picture. And I'm thinking too, as this channel develops and as I start selling more things or giving away more things on my channel. Like, for example, if I sell original art pieces or there's always this thought of selling some of the master studies that I've been doing on my channel, which if you're new to my channel and I'm talking to you as if you assume who I am and what I do this series called Master Studies where I study a master comic book page from different artists like Mike Zeck, Michael Golden, just artists that I pick. And then we as a channel, the chat helps me choose a particular page to do. They vote on it. And then I'll reproduce that page from pencils to inks pretty much. Just because I love traditional comic art. And as I'm talking about this in my brain, I'm like, wow, I haven't explained this in a while. And then I'll, come up with a finished final page. And so anyway, those have been awesome. It's great. It's fun. It's fun to live stream and do that stuff with you guys all. But every now and then, and people have talked about it, they're like, oh, would you be willing to sell those pages? Or, hey, would you ever sell that in the future? And so I thought that would be cool, but I'm like, what's going to make that different? Like, what makes original art different than just selling a copy of it? And obviously you can get the pencils. I have the pencils version. You would see the ink on the page, which is awesome. But I thought, whoa, that would be so cool if I could like stamp it with an official Rocky seal. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Like, that's what this is going to be for. This is going to be stamped on stuff that comes directly from me. So then you will have an original piece of art or thing from me stamped in blood. Well, not really in blood, but in red ink. And, people wouldn't be able to reproduce that. How cool is that? It's kind of like how people would like see, that's what these were used before. In the olden days, they would either stamp letters or seal letters with it with wax or whatever. So I thought that would be a cool little touch to original things that I would eventually sell on this channel, which is the goal. So there you go. That was one of the things that I found in Korea and was really cool. And I thought it just could be kind of like a branding thing now for me. Hence my name. So yeah, that was one of the things that I did in Korea and that I really thought was just kind of a cool thing to add, a cool original touch to add to anything that I sell or give away on this channel. So look for that in the future. But yes, that's part of the whole change of the look in this channel. So yes, I changed the avatar. Guess that makes sense. And almost to not 660, but 600 subs. That's right. We are at 598 right now, folks. And that is going to be amazing when we hit 600. 500 was the goal 100 or so subscribers ago, because a big part of that is like you could start monetizing on your channel when you hit 500. That's like the first tier when you hit 500 subscribers. And so we've been, the last few streams, you guys have been so generous to send super chats, which have been amazing. It's just like, what? And I really, really appreciate that. And hopefully that will continue in the future as I start getting back into the rhythm of producing more content for you guys. But I did have this issue with not being able to set up channel memberships because, long story short, and I've talked about this before, there was all these like copyright issues with some of the music that I was using predominantly on the trailers that I show before my channel. So like the trailers for the comic book stores or just some of the other things that I was showing at the beginning of the channel. And even though they were copyright free, I had to write the copyright in every single description. So every time I show one of those trailers, not just in the one time I post it on YouTube, but every time I use one of those trailers, I have to post the description of the copyright in the description of the particular live stream. So that's what I've been doing now. That's what I've learned. But I had 200 over videos that I hadn't done that, any live streams that I hadn't done that. And so I had to go back and retroactively not only change it in the description, but also tell YouTube, hey, I just changed it in the description. Can you take the strike off? And so they did. So it took a while, but dun, da, 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 I finally got, let me see if I can share my screen. And let's see that. And I change that. And I change this. And then what? Then I do this. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, everybody. That was weird. All right, take a deep breath. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna work. Oh yes, got to do that. Unlock this guy, and then kind of do that. Well, that doesn't look great, but I'll show it. Here we go. While I was gone, I got this message. Can you guys see that? Da-da! It wasn't 1 hour ago. I took that screenshot a few days ago. But literally, I got that notification from YouTube. Can you guys see that? Am I live? Oh, yeah, you can see that. So I'm eligible for memberships. Ta-da! We're going to do it. Yay! We're finally going to do it. And I've got so many ideas about it. That was one of the things I was able to do while I was overseas. Was I was able to think about, like, what should I do for memberships? What would be cool? How do we build this out? So that's coming very soon. And now that the floodgate has opened, I can finally set that up, dag nabbit, to get memberships going, because that'll be awesome. And I want to produce kind of exclusive content for people who dare to be members of my channel, and support me in that way. But it will also be it's just a great kind of new tool to like really build out this channel and add some more cool stuff, work on some edited stuff, even more on the side, and just to brainstorm of it. I always love building new things and trying out new things. So that's an exciting step for me. And I'm so excited that I finally was able to like get over that hurdle. It only took me 100 extra subscribers to do that. But thank you everybody who stuck around and who is part of that, because that will be huge. That will be huge for it. So wait a minute. I was just blabbity blablabs. And what is this? A super chat from Mark's Music Obsession. I didn't even get to say hello yet to Mark's Music Obsession. Super chat for $4.99 from Mark's Music Obsession. Selling pencils, huh? Man, I bet you can guess one that I want for sure. Yes. And then you'll get the red stamp, Mark. Thank you so much for the $4.99. So appreciative of it. Mark, you've been supporting me even before you monetarily could. You've been supporting me, and you know how much I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. It's been a while since we've gotten to talk, but I'm so glad that you are here and rejoining me back in this I'm Back stream. But check this out. Here's another cool thing that I got to work on before I left. I did a super chat thing. A reward. So here we go. We are going to watch the very first premiere for Mark's Music Obsession, the super chat video that I came up with. Check it out. You hopefully will be seeing a lot of this in the future. There you go. Thank you so much, Mark's Music Obsession, for that super chat. That's my super chat video. It's a little long, but I love it. I love that video so much, and it just makes me laugh when I watch it. And what the heck? While that was happening, look what happened here. Cranberry Landers for a super chat for $6. Here's a welcome back tip. Thank you so much, Cranberry Landers. Here's your music.
This is a cranberry full of power.
Great seeing you. Cranberry Landers, one of the OGs. And here we go. Where's that clip? I just clicked on it. Oh, here we go. Love it. K-pop Junkies here. What's up, K-pop Junkie? How you been? Good seeing you. Comrade Sammy says, bro, it's been like 4 weeks since I've seen you all. What? Haven't you guys seen each other in other other YouTube other YouTube chats? Don't you guys interact elsewhere? Can't be just on my channel, can it? Hang on a second. I just want to catch up because people... Cranberry Landers... Oh, geez, I'm looking at it the wrong screen. That's why. I just saw that Cranberry Landers is taken off. Just popping in, heading to a movie soon. Oh, what movie are you watching, Cranberry Landers? Let us know before you go. Here he goes. I'm going to watch Sketch in the theater. Sketch. Do I even know what Sketch is? I don't even know what Sketch is. Good. Have a good time watching it in the theater. I still haven't seen Fantastic Four, actually. Curious to hear if other people have. I did watch Superman before we left, but I haven't watched any movie in the theater. I watched a bunch of movies on the plane, had tons of time. Most of the movies I watched were like Tom Cruise movies. They didn't have that big of a selection on this. I was flying Korea Air. They didn't have that big of a selection. I kind of exhausted it, actually. But I watched a lot of Tom Cruise stuff, a lot of Mission Impossible. I watched Top Gun Maverick again, which is such a good movie. I love that movie so much. Watched 2 or 3 Mission Impossibles. I watched Tenet again, the Christopher Nolan movie. What else did I watch? Dune 2. Man, that was good. All right, wait. Catching up. Let's see. Yeah, Mark's Music Obsession. He said be back in 5 to 10. I'm so behind. That's great. This is just like usual. Comrade Sammy says, I blame Rocky. Why the slacking? You turning into Jay Ryan now? Ouch, K-pop Junkie. Dang. Yes, we blame you, Rocky, going on secret trips. It's K-pop Junkie says it's hot as hell and I made stew. Torturing myself with food. You know what? I don't know how hot it is where you are, K-pop, but it was stinking hot in Asia, as you can imagine. Singapore's climate is pretty standard. I mean, they do go through hot months. Summer tends to be one of the hottest times to travel there, but it's the humidity that'll get you. But I'd say, as far as temperature-wise, it was like high 80s. And like humidity was like 100%. It was like once you step out, it's just like you feel like you have to take a shower once you go out and into that humidity. But the amazing thing, for those of you who haven't been to Singapore before, they've got an incredible way of taking care of the greenery. So it's like it's a super, super modern city. It's like you walk into the future. It's amazing. It is all that you think it is. It's like incredibly efficient, super modern, very futuristic, yada, yada. But they also are really good about keeping the greenery and the shade. Everything is air conditioning there. They have like overpasses and underpasses, and you can make it pretty much anywhere if you're walking around in a shaded way. Like you're not totally exposed to the sun, unless you're like way out in the boonies. But most of it is super modern and in the city. So you're kind of walking from like mall to mall for the most part. They even have this beautiful, if you look up Singapore, like any kind of touristy things to do, one of the biggest attractions there is this garden called Gardens by the Bay. You've probably seen them on videos when they show Singapore. They have these like artificial tree structures that are like lit up at night and you can walk from tree to tree. But they also have these two huge dome-like structures, biodomes, if you will. And inside are these incredibly gorgeous, beautifully manicured gardens and in the two domes. And they have different themes. The first dome, while we were there, had this orchid festival going on. So it had all these like exotic, beautiful orchid things that you go. And in the second dome, they had a whole Jurassic Park experience, which was awesome. It was incredible. Actually, if I can, I might pull up some images and videos from that because it was awesome. It was really cool. But the cool thing about both of those things is like you're looking at these gardens, all these like incredibly exotic plants, flowers, etc. But you're in air conditioning the whole time. But it doesn't feel like you're in air conditioning. I don't know how to explain it because there's like a lot of natural light, but there are these like metal structures that are like the dome. I don't know. It's awesome the way they have set up. So it's like even going out and enjoying nature, you're like in air conditioning there. So, however, Korea wasn't quite like that. Korea is very modern. It was amazing. It was, a beautiful city, really modern, but it was hot. When we were there, it was like a crazy heat wave was going on. My phone would like buzz every like 10 minutes telling me in Korean that there was a public safety warning because of the heat wave. And they're like, you need to hydrate, you need to stay out of the sun. And it was so hot, you guys. It was like 95, 96 degrees, intense heat. And so that was crazy. I don't know if it's that hot where you are, K-pop, but it was crazy hot and we were dying, but it was still fun. Comrade Samus says, honestly, you should have come back on Wednesday. You missed a good opportunity to chat with me after I was loopy after getting my wisdom teeth. Oh my goodness. That would have been amazing. With Comrade Sammy on topical anesthesia, that would have been amazing. It probably wouldn't have been as funny because you're typing. Although that still could have been kind of cool. But I've always seen those videos of people when they videotape themselves coming out from getting their wisdom teeth pulled and they're like totally out of it because of the drugs or the anesthesia. That's a good time. Who is this stranger? K-pop junkie says. I don't know. You know what was really big? K-pop junkie, you'd appreciate this, is in Korea. Obviously, the K-pop was huge there, right? And one of the things that I did while I was there was I went to, well, one of the things, I've talked about it a couple times on this channel, but that movie K-pop Demon Hunters is huge in Korea. And you would think like, oh, it's like an American show, like borrowing Korean pop culture. Like, are they going to really like it? It's huge there. The music was playing everywhere. And one of the things I got to do while I was there, I don't know if Timmy Mello has shown up here, but one of the things I got to do this, and I asked because he would appreciate this, is I got to go to a Korean baseball game while I was there. And that was like the combo of going to a K-pop concert and a baseball game at the same time in the blazing heat. It was insane. Let me see if I can pull up a video. But it was crazy because I don't know if many of you have gone to baseball games, but that's not a good video. If you guys have gone to baseball games, like, each player would have their like walk-up song, and then once they're done getting up to bat and they're about to bat, they will just want to find a good video here. They will, all the music will stop and you sit down and you watch the game. But in Korea, it's not like that at all. In Korea, the music, the chanting, everything is going on all the time. Is this a good video? Okay, this is a pretty good one. Sorry, this is going to be a lot of sharing of all this kind of stuff. Hopefully it interests you guys. And then we got lots of comic stuff to talk about too. So it's going to be a lot. But let me see if I can call this up because it'd be worth it to see. Okay, this. I'm going to change this. If I was a little more prepped. Okay, so that's gone. I don't need that anymore. This. Okay, that works. And this should be. Yep. And this should be like this. And okay, I'll give you guys a little bit of a taste of this. So this, okay, and then let's see if you can hear the audio. Like, and this is going constantly, like during the baseball game. And everybody knew the chants. It was kind of cool. They had cheerleaders. People were eating ramen. I mean, it was nuts. It was like a celebration. And the team we watched lost, but people were still celebrating anyway. Luckily, our seats were in shade because it was so hot. I don't even know how those baseball players. That guy back there, his last name's Cave. And I don't know if you guys heard it, but they were like saying K-E-V. Like that's how they pronounced his name. And he was like the superstar. He's like somebody who played in the major leagues here, but he was like a superstar over there. And yeah, it was just awesome. It was really, really fun. It was a great experience. Mark's Music Obsession says, so good you're back, Rocky. Trying to finish up something since I wasn't expecting it. Sorry, I know. It just kind of came out of nowhere. I knew I really wanted to like catch up with you guys. I was like, should I wait till next Wednesday? But I had all this stuff piling up. And also, selfishly, one of the reasons why I wanted to stream is I want to stay awake. Because if I sit around at home in a quiet house, I'll probably fall asleep. And as many of you who have dealt with jet lag before, that's not the way to fight jet lag. You kind of have to like power through it. So yeah, this will keep me awake. This will keep me, maybe I'll crash afterwards, but this will keep me like awake for these middle hours, which are kind of crucial to survive the jet lag slump. Cranberry already probably took off, but here he is. I'm just popping in. I'm heading to a movie soon.
This is a cranberry, full of power.
I don't know if I gave him his sound effect, but there it is, Cranberry. And thank you for that super chat. That's amazing and so generous of you. A vacation without a warning, Monsieur. You know, you don't own me. No. Yeah, I didn't want to. I wasn't quite sure how to time it when I was going. I was trying to fit in another one of my master study streams of that John Byrne page that I'm working on. I wanted to fit another one before I took off, but planning into the trip just kind of snowballed. And then next thing I know, we were on the plane. So yeah, apologies about that, but I'm back. John says, you did not stream from the zoo in Asia? Fail.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
You know what, John? If I had a better data plan, I probably would have done something like that because I did go to a zoo in Singapore It was called the Night Safari. Oh, let me show you guys that. Let me find the video. See? I'm giving you guys a lot of bang for your buck right now. So, let me find that video. Oh! Okay, this is cool. Okay, I'll send it. I'll show a couple things here. I wish my sharing screen was set up a little bit better, but it's not. But I'll show you guys something from the Gardens up by the Bay. And then I will also show you a cool video from the Night Safari. So we had met up with some friends that were here from the Bay Area. We met up. They happened to be in Singapore as well, and so we met up with them while we were there. And one of the touristy, like I usually don't do touristy things when I'm there because it's it's about seeing family and friends. Sorry, I'm just watching this video before to see if it's a good one to show you guys. But because we were there with friends, they'd never been to Singapore before. It was like, oh, let's do the touristy thing. So we went to the night safari, we went to the zoo. Okay, so let me set this up one more time. 1 second. Thank you for being patient. Hopefully this is interesting enough for you guys. Good. Okay, so that, and where does that button change for me? Okay, so first I'll show you guys pictures of the gosh, this is so janky. Check this out. Okay, boop. So this is Gardens by the Bay. This is the inside. Can you see that? There, that's a better. You can see the top of the dome, and they have this huge waterfall at the top. And as you can see, as I pan up, you can see those like dinosaur that's there. These particular ones, I don't think these moved, but they had some animatronic ones like this. Look how cool that is. Like that looked like it came out of Jurassic Park, the movie, and it was moving. Like, the animatronics were working and you can go up to it, and it was so cool. And this is in the middle of seeing all these like actual real tropical trees and flowers and all that. And they just put these dinosaurs in there. So it was super fun. You felt like you were walking through Jurassic Park. So that's that. And then let me jump to this. Okay, this is the night safari. You see that? So this is like the big thing with the night safari is you go to their zoo, which is open during the day, but you can go to during the night, and then you take this tram that takes you through, and a lot of the animals are more alive or more active at night. And you can get pretty close to the animals. They drive pretty close to the animals. And this is like one of their main attractions at the end of the zoo was this huge Asian
elephant.
That's loud. This huge elephant. It looks fake. It looks like an animatronic, but it's not. It's real. And look at those tusks. Incredible.
In this short journey into the wilderness tonight, we have seen many endangered species.
So, if I had better data, John, I would have live streamed from the zoo, but I wasn't drawing. It was hot, so it wasn't going to work out. Emotress says, I know, right? Johnny has many transgressions to repent of. Oh, gosh. The last thing I was hoping was to feel guilty when I show all you guys this stuff, but here we are. John, who are you? Have we met before? Comrade Sammy. Comrade Sammy, don't you cross paths with John on like the different other YouTube channels? Can't be just here. John's never been to Asia. You should go. It's amazing. The thing I love about Asia is there's definitely, I grew up in America. I'm Asian, but I grew up in America. Very different to be Asian American and to be from Asia. And because I've been married to somebody who was born and raised in Asia, I've gotten to see that perspective and kind of adopt a lot of that for myself when I go over there. Like I feel part of the family. I feel like her friends are my friends, et cetera, et cetera. And to be honest, I feel like Singapore is like our second home, because when I go there, I'm just becoming more and more familiar with the country. But the thing, and I felt this in Korea and as well, the thing that I find is different in those countries is there's for sure an emphasis on like, there's a hierarchy there. There's a hierarchy, not like, oh, it's a patriarchy, yawn. It's like there's a hierarchy of like respect in generational respect. So there's, definitely the elder generations there are revered and taken care of, to be quite frank, a lot better than they are here stateside or maybe in Western culture. Maybe that's too general, but at least what I've seen here in like the States. And so there's this whole idea of like, I know there's phrases in Chinese and Mandarin that are 3 generations under one roof. And there was a certain time my wife's grandmother is still alive. And, it was like my wife's grandmother was there, her mother was there, my wife was there, and then my daughter was there. So it was like 4 generations all together, and we were all just kind of hanging out. And half of the time you're there with family and you're hanging out with those older generations, they're telling you stories, they're giving you advice, they're giving you perspective, and there's just something incredibly like just uplifting about that. Like you don't feel so alone. And I'm just speaking from my own experience. I think America's amazing and it's so huge and a melting pot of different cultures and people and, states, different cultures, even within the states, right? But it's so spread out and Singapore is pretty small. So it's really concentrated. Korea is much bigger, but we were just mainly in Seoul. So, very concentrated city. And, you just get this sense of like, it's like a, community and like working together and for like the greater good. While we here in America, oftentimes it's about independence. It's about, making your way and carving your own path and stuff, but that can be kind of lonely sometimes. So I really enjoyed that flip of going to Asia. The food's incredible there. The food is so affordable. Like everyday food is so affordable, not like fancy schmancy restaurants, but like, just going out for a bite to eat. It's not really about fast food there. It's about the food is fast, but it's like made right there in front of you. So where we were staying in Korea, we were near like night markets and you can go out and they're just like selling stuff on the side and you can buy it. And it's like, pennies on the dollar. It was really cheap. It was like, I think like, the conversion in Korea was maybe about like 75 cents to the dollar or whatever. But then the cost of food itself was like really cheap. And then it's just really good and really fast. One of the things we enjoyed while we were there was, and a big thing, if you look on like Instagram or any kind of travel videos, like they talk about the convenience stores in Korea. And so one of them, like 7-Eleven, they have all these 7-Elevens there, but their 7-Elevens are not the like dingy like crap holes that we have here in America. Their 7-Elevens are like really cool and they have like good food in the 7-Eleven. You can get like fresh onigiri there and like ramen and like iced coffee, and they sell you like the ice in like a plastic cup, like sealed, and then and it's like a packet of whatever coffee, whatever coffee flavor. Then you open up the ice and you pour it in there, and it's like super cheap. So that was really fun to kind of discover that and like just enjoy that. And it just made us realize like the quick food that we have around here is kind of, you know, fast foody. Like, I mean, I love American food, but I don't know. It was different and it was fun. And so that was cool. One of the, let me see if I have another cool picture. Sorry, I'm getting so off track here, but this is 4 weeks of catching up here. One of the fun things also that we got to do this was such a treat. Like I just found out about it, just looking up for things to do while we were in Korea. And I was like, whoa, is this really true? I'm trying to think if I have a good picture. This is not really a good picture. It was this like, it's like okay, this might be a good picture. It's they called it this 24-hour ramen cafe, and it's literally open 24 hours. Nobody works there. It's totally honor system. And so you walk in there, and it was like in the middle of nowhere. It was not like in this like busy area. It was kind of like this nowhere neighborhood. We had to bus there. And you just walk in there. We went pretty late at night, probably at like 9, 10 at night. There was only a couple or, you know, a few people inside the store. It's a really tiny store. It was like really cute and quaint. Let me see if I can call up this one image. You guys came in here looking for comics, and you got some weird stuff. So hopefully this is not. Hopefully this is interesting enough for you. And if it's not, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna share it anyway. Just trying to get a better picture. Okay. So this is like this 24-hour cafe, and people just sit there, and there's walls and walls of ramen. And you pick your ramen, there's a kiosk, and you like pay at the kiosk, and you can pick like all sorts of different kinds of ramen. They have free toppings, free kimchi, and then they had these little like hot water things set up, heater things set up, and they gave you instructions, clear instructions to do it, and they tell you like, here's where you heat it up, let it sit here for this, let it cool here, here's the utensils, and then you just sit there in this cute little cafe and you eat ramen. They had all these Post-its, if you can see there on the wall, and these Post-its, like people would say like, oh, I'm from America, or I'm from Switzerland, or whatever, and they'd put it up there, and thank you so much for the ramen. And it just had this awesome feel to it, like this community feel to it. And again, it was the honor system. So like anybody could walk in there. You could not, I mean, they had a CCTV, right? So maybe if you ran out with your arms full of a bunch of ramen, maybe somebody would stop you. Kind of doubt it. And I was just talking to my family. I was like, only in Asia, or at least this corner of Asia, would this fly. Like if you opened a store like this would get raided in like 2 seconds flat, and then it would get broken into, and then they'd have to shut it down, and it would be a total failure. So stuff like that was just like, how could this even exist in this society? But it does over there. So it was great. It was really fun. John says, it has been too long. Shant is recovering from his campaign. Yes, for sure. Cranberry said he's going to watch Sketch in the theater. What's up, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969?
How do you say monkey in French?
How are you doing, my friend? Always good seeing you. Comrade Sammy's eating a milkshake. Nice. Probably by this time now, though, you're done because I know I'm like way behind on messages. John says, yes, Rocky, everyone was devastated you weren't streaming and stopped streaming themselves. That's what I like to tell myself.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
Did I forget to play that? Sorry, guys. I'm like late on the draw here. It was you who hit me up. So maybe I did. Maybe I sent you a link. Emo trash or a meme. That's possible. Good to see everybody. Cranberry Ranger says, I've never been to either Korea. One of the things my wife was like, hey, do you want to go to the DMZ, which is the demilitarized zone between North Korea and South Korea? You just go there and like you literally can look in the border across to North Korea. It's a whole thing. It sounded kind of interesting, but kind of creepy because I was like, do I want to be that close to North Korea? I don't, and it wasn't that far from where we were staying. However, if we were to do any kind of tour there to get there, it would have been an all day thing. And I really didn't want to spend all day just focused on the DMZ. There were so many other, touristy kind of things we wanted to do. So it eventually, we nixed it and it was so hot too. But it's a thing, it's a thing. But no, we didn't go into North Korea. Korea, I thought your family was Filipino. My family is Filipino. However, I didn't visit the Philippines. My wife's side of the family from Singapore. Korea was just a fun thing we wanted to do. It's a stopover between here and Singapore, and my family's never been to Korea, so we're like, let's do Korea. It was either that or we're thinking about Japan too, but Korea was awesome. It was really great. Highly recommend it. I would definitely want to go back because there's so much more to explore, and I feel like we only just kind of saw the surface. Rocky needs to get the old streaming gears turning again. That's right. No, I'm not mixed. My wife is Singaporean Chinese. I am full Filipino. Framing. I'm off frame. Yes. Let's see. K-pop says I had one made years ago from a friend. Oh, the chop? Yeah, it's cool. Does yours have your name? Is it in English or is it in Asian characters? That was the one thing. Like I've seen the Asian character thing a million times over, both here in the States and in Asia. But to see a guy do it kind of Western and like in this cool hand lettered style, that was new. So that's the reason why I decided to do it. Mr. Monkey Boy says, let me guess, no bande dessinée, Korea or Singapore. No bande dessinée that I could find. And it was weird, I did appreciate this about living in America and being American was, I think I would get like, definitely in Korea, I could not find a single comic store. So Korea was like, there was this one street that I found in downtown Seoul, which they called it the comic street. And I'm like, this is so cool. And actually one thing I'm doing is I'm doing a video on this street because I videoed a lot of stuff. And I was like, this is cool. It's going to be a street full of like comic books. Like it's called the comic street. It's got to, right? I thought it was going to be like Paris because Paris has a street or a section, a neighborhood that's like their bande dessinée comic neighborhood. And you guys seen it in my videos. If you haven't seen it, go back and look on my channel. It's one of my very, very first videos that I posted when I started streaming or started this YouTube channel was these different Parisian comic book stores that I discovered while I was there. And most of them were on this street. And I kid you not, it was like door next to door, comic book store next to comic book store next to comic book store. It was like my heaven. And you could just walk in and each store was different. It was incredible. So I was like, Korea, this is the comic street. I found it. This is the Mecca. Let's go. And it's a cute street, but it had very little to do with actual comics. It was more like comic characters and not even like superheroes or mainstream comic characters. It was just like weird cutesy characters, but they were part of the buildings. I'd show you some videos, but I'm actually working on a actual finished video of this. So wait till I'm done with that and you can see what I'm talking about, this comic street. But it was so weird. It was like, it didn't make any sense. It had nothing to do with the comics that I'm used to. And it just made me think like, that's all the comics I could find. And I looked, mind you, I was looking. There was some manga stores and I was like, eh. But there was not like a comic store. So it was weird. It was weird because comics are such a part of my weekly rhythm. And to be there, even though I enjoyed being unplugged and in a different culture, it was like, I don't know if I could survive here without comics or having access to comics like I had been spoiled to here where I am. So that was interesting. Like the comic street that I went to, it's a place to visit and it's kind of a cool touristy thing to do, but it's not like I could go there every Wednesday and find the recent comic books that I'm looking for. There's no way. It's not like that at all. It was just kind of this kitschy, cool neighborhood. But I did actually in that, and one of the things I'm going to show in the video that I'm editing together is just so happened that they had like this, I think it's the oldest Korean animation studio is on this street. And it's almost set up like Studio Ghibli, which is the Miyazaki Japanese studio. It has this homey feel to it, but basically I just walked into this building and I'm like, wait, where am I? And I was like, oh, this is an animation studio. And like, you just walk in this door and all of these artifacts of this animation studio were there. And people were working in this other area, which you couldn't walk into, but it was kind of open to the public outside of that area. And you just walk like you're going into a store. It was so weird. I didn't even understand it. And there was nobody there. Again, you just walk in, kind of look around and honor system that you wouldn't steal anything. But that was on that comic street. And it was weird. It was a weird, if you're looking for comics, that's not where you would necessarily go, but it was still kind of cool to explore. So anyway, yes, very different. Emo Trash says Stamped in Blood would be hardcore. Maybe I'll do that. K-Pop Junkie says, my friend in the Netherlands makes them. He's an old school print block. Oh, cool. That is cool. Okay, now I can sit and enjoy the dulcet sounds of Rocky B. Didn't you miss it? Did you miss it? Yesterday I was watching an old stream of mine. Part of the reason was I was like, I can't even remember what books I talked about last time. But because I was jet lagged, I fell asleep. So I fell asleep to myself talking. I'm just going to say it was the jet lag and not the tone of my voice. But yeah, who knows? We may hit 600 before the stream ends. That would be amazing. Can any of you guys get 2 strangers or 2 of your friends to subscribe to me while I'm streaming? Hopefully I don't lose any people while I'm streaming. That would suck. That would be counter what we want to do here. I just refreshed the window. Let's see. YouTube is breaking as I speak. Yeah, still at 598. Long story short, YouTube is jerking Rocky around, as always. Let's see. Okay, we don't need logic where we're going. Can tell Shanth has infected Rocky with his boomerisms. For sure. Mark's Music Obsession says, finally, I'm first in line still, Rocky. I know, Mark. It's carved out, dude. I've got it like, reserved for Mark's Music Obsession. Ninja, too busy at work to watch, just saying hello. Congrats on the membership. Thank you, Jason. Thank you for coming in and saying hello. You also, I don't think you've been streaming that much, Jason. What's going on, people? What is going on? What's in the water? A penguin from the zoo? I don't know what that is. And if people don't become members, then there's a prospect of being added to his Legion of Mods. That is. I know, I kind of shot myself in the foot because the mod ability should be part of the membership. No? I don't know. But no, I'm trying to build out like tiers, or at least to make it worth it to people that would be members, right? There's got to be some exclusivity there or something, first rights of something, some discount or something. I don't know. Discount of free. When he pops off, he'll already have an army watching the chat. John says, shoot the fat equals more Rocky monologue yapping. That's right. What did I just watch? You just watched. I'm going to play it again because I promised that I was going to play it retroactively for all the people that have already done super chats. So Mark, Cranberry Langers has, I believe, let me make sure I'm not making a mistake here. I don't want to leave anybody out who's already in. Shanthan Jetty has, my friend Lang, all you generous people. Let me just see. Make sure I don't forget anybody. Mark's Music Obsession, Lang. Mark's Music Obsessions many times, actually. Timmy Mello, my buddy Alan Lau, Cranberry Langers, obviously. All of you guys who have contributed to this channel already, when I'm still figuring out you already contributed it, I'm going to play it one more time to honor those people who have already given in the past. So thank you so much for these super chats. John says that super chat sound effects needs Greta saying, "How dare you?" Oh, yeah, that's right. I have seen that video. I think you were the one who sent me that link, John, with the Greta. Was it you? With the Greta and the like music. The Greta Thunberg. I just love that kiwi video because that kid so wants that kiwi. And then when he puts it in his mouth, he is so surprised. Not really. I don't really interact on live streams much anymore, Comrade Sam. Why? Why are you doing that? Always lurking. I guess that's true in form to a ninja. Chat Ninja doesn't love us anymore. The sadness. We're going to change that, Comrade Sammy. This stream, this is safe for you. This is a safe place to be yourself. Interact with people, or it's safe to be introverted as well. That's okay. Mark's Music Obsession says, I haven't been to a theater in years. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot for me to get into the theater. Superman, definitely, I wanted to see that like in my face. And I do want to see Fantastic Four in the big theater before it goes, but it did drop off quite a bit after the first week. So my hunch is it wasn't as good as people were hoping for, which makes me a little nervous, but I still do want to see it. Top Gun Maverick, when I watched that on the plane, I was like, man, I would watch this in the theater every day if I could. It is such a good movie, so exciting, so fun. Stew in the Heat, why would you do that to yourself, K-pop? 88 with 104 in, ugh. Mark, that is too hot. Is it humid where you are, Mark? It's humid there, right? Isn't it? Ugh, 104 index, oh my gosh. I couldn't wait to get back to my weather here. And it was like super foggy when we came home. And I was like, yes, like give me the fog. Because my skin, I even got like a heat rash on my legs. My body was like, what? What are you doing to me? This is not normal. I'm sure it's cold in San Francisco. Yes, it's cold by your terms. It is... oh shoot, why am I still in Celsius? It's actually, it's quite warm today, Mark. It's 72 degrees here right now. 88 here too, where John is, but feels like 90. Ugh, I cannot do that, guys. That's one thing I learned about myself. I already knew it, but it was hot. I mean, when it rains, it's really nice because then there's like a cool breeze. When it's hot and the sun is overcast, it's really nice. But when the sun is blaring on you at that heat, no thank you. Did they really get rid of the merlion? No, the merlion is there. While we were there too, in merlion, for those of you who don't know, it's like kind of the symbol of Singapore. I want to say their national mascot. Yeah, I think it's their mascot. But also while we were there, we got to celebrate National Day, which is like their July 4th. And Singapore this year turned 60, the ripe old age of 60, which is probably why the country still has that nice new out of the factory smell, because 60 is not that old at all. And but it was awesome. It was a great celebration. They had an amazing celebration for the National Day. They had like a parade, like military vehicles and planes flying, all these presentations, laser shows, fireworks. It was really cool. And it was cool to kind of be there and watch a country like celebrate their patriotism. And it was also cool to hear kind of the take, like pretty much my mother-in-law and her generation, they're quite patriotic because they saw Singapore at the beginning, literally at the beginning of it becoming a country and becoming an independent country. It used to be part of Malaysia. So they have a lot of pride in like how much they have advanced and kind of become the amazing country they are now in such a short amount of time. And then you have like the younger generation that kind of is like, as a younger generation is like kind of nitpicks and is like, oh, this country is too controlling and too many rules and blah, 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 blah. The grass is always greener and da, da, da. So it's like human nature is human nature wherever you go. But it was just awesome to kind of be there and see a country in its younger stages. It made me think of like, I wonder what America was like at 60 years old, you know, like, what was that? 1776, do the math, whatever the math is, 1826. But anyway, like when America was 60 years old, I wonder how that was like. It was probably a little different, not as modern as Singapore has become, obviously. But I wonder like what the sentiment was, what the feel of the country was at that young. You know, was it like, oh my gosh, this is this bright new sunny place, and you know, different from that old Britain. But yeah, it was cool. It was really neat to be there. Never mind, nobody's here. I can be on my phone. Cranberries. Nice. Hopefully you're watching your movie now. Maybe you're still watching trailers. Oh my gosh, it's already been over an hour, people, and I haven't even gotten to the comics yet. That's crazy, and I'm sorry. But yeah, so much to catch up on. Comrade Sammy is unfortunately stuck on because of the how many wisdom teeth did you have pulled out? When I had my wisdom teeth pulled out, it was, I think I only had 2 because I never grew the other 2 that you get. So it wasn't too bad, but I was also pretty young when I had my wisdom teeth pulled out, so I don't really remember that much. Suck it up. Understandable, the playlist is lit. Oh, are you talking about for K-pop Demon? It's good. It was good. That movie was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. K-pop had to put her stew away. It was too hot. Cranberry heard it was a good movie. Yes, watch it. K-pop Demon Hunters. It's on Netflix. Yeah, it's really entertaining and it's fun. It's the art style is beautiful. The art direction is beautiful on that. It's cool characters, and the music is stinking catchy, man. Sometimes you just get a craving for something, and K-pop had a craving for stew. Pudding and Jello are acceptable meals. Yep, they can kind of be in any meal, really. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Polite hooligans. Yes, it was a packed game. It was like hometown rivals too. So it was like the equivalent of like 2 LA teams playing each other. So like the Clippers versus the Lakers, or like the Dodgers versus the Angels, that they are from the same area, but they're 2 different teams. That's how it was that we were watching. The team we were rooting for at least the team we were sitting next to was the Doosan Bears, and they were playing the Twins, but they were also from they were both the hometown teams of Seoul. And so the crowd was packed. And the amazing thing too, the audience was like, when you go to a baseball game here, majority of the audience is male. I'd say it's probably like a maybe 65-35 split when you come to an American baseball game as far as male to female. Over there, it was like definitely 50-50, if not more females there. And they were into it, man. They were so locked in when they were watching the game, doing all the chanting, all the players, everything. It was just this like big communal party that was going on, even if your team was losing. It was really fun. Actually leaving now, Sketch. Okay, bye. See you later, Cranberry. Mesmerized by the light on groomsman's printer. Oh, is there a light? This one? That? Oh, yeah, it kind of comes on and off, doesn't it? Huh. Interesting. Timmy Mello's here. What's up, Timmy Mello?
The Guardians are headed to October.
Timmy Mello, did you see the clip of did you hear me talking about the Korean baseball game that I went to when I was on vacation? One of the places I was in Korea. So let me know if you saw that video. If not, you can watch it and repeat, or I could call up another video. I have like about 7 videos from that game. It was awesome, Timmy Mello. You would have enjoyed it. It was a little different though. I went with my son. My son's really into baseball, and he found it hard to focus on the game just because it was just like people are standing up and cheering and doing the moves and the chants the whole time. And he was like, I just want to watch the game. I just want to like figure out what the players are doing. So it was kind of crazy. Oh, and Timmy Mello also, I don't know if you were in the chat when I played it, but I'm going to do it for you one more time, sir, because Timmy Mello sent me a super chat, one of my earlier streams almost a month ago. And I hadn't had this super chat video done. So here we go, Timmy Mello. If you didn't see it, if you did already, bonus to you. But thank you in retrospect? No. What's the word I'm talking about? Thank you. Shelby's in the chat. What's up, Shelby? He says, "Sup, Rocky. Thank you again for your gracious donation to my blank sketch covers to do box, my man." You are welcome, Shelby. For those of you who don't know, I sent a box. Shelby sent me some awesome things in the mail a couple months ago. Really, really generous. Some of it his own work. And it was awesome. So I felt like I had to return the favor. Not that he was asking for anything, but I sent him some things in the mail, and he opened them on one of his streams. I think it was like his Comic-Con at Home stream or something, or What's Happening something. I forgot the name of the stream. But he opened it up with one of his friends, and some of the things that I sent him, because Shelby does such an amazing job at drawing blank cover commissions. So I sent him a few books. I don't think they were like 9.8, Shelby. I know you're pretty particular about that. I'm not good at picking those or finding those, hunting those down. But yeah, hopefully that will add, I'm sure you have like boxes and boxes of blanks, but hopefully that will add to your collection and you enjoy those. And Shelby, one of the things Shelby sent me was blank covers, and those will be part of, once we get these memberships going and started, those will be part of that. I'll probably have some sort of tier there with blank cover commissions coming up soon, because I think I need to get into that game. I think that would be really fun. Packing up books and subforms for CGC stuff today. Still listening though, American Discord says. You and your CGC. That is That is a place I have not gone as far as comics go, and I don't know if I ever will. That seems like a slippery slope to get into that CGC world. So it's cool. Congratulations. Everybody's saying hello to Shelby. Sir, you dropped off the face of the internet for almost a month. You should have expected guilt tripping. It's true. It's true. Comrade Sammy and I used to cross paths in other chats, but she became excruciating reclusive. That's not good. What is going on, Comrade Sammy? Good day, Jeffrey Beats.
10% bogan, 50% bogan, 100% bogan.
We are back. Yes, Jeffrey Beats dropped me a direct message on the IG the other day, just checking in, and I really appreciate that, Jeffrey Beats. It means a lot to me that people care and are wondering what happened to me, that I didn't die or fall off the face of the earth, as some people might have imagined. But yes, thank you for checking in. And like I've recapped here, went on an Asian excursion close to your neck of the woods, actually. I know that Singapore isn't too far away from Australia. And I've been meaning, like, one of those trips that we do when we go to that side of the world is to take a trip to Australia. That would be amazing. But yes, I was somewhat, not really, kind of closer to your time zone on this trip, but I'm back now. And hopefully I will get to the comics. I'm talking a lot, but it's a lot of catch up. It's good. And we haven't seen each other in a while, but good to see you. Hope you've been well, Bogan. I'll chit chat in some other live streams at some point. Don't worry. I gotta come back, Comrade Sammy. You're missed. People miss the ninja coming in with turtle talk and carpentry talk and all the crazy things that you do. Maybe I'll start harassing, encouraging you to Discord again. Wait. Comrade Sammy, you Discorded before? That's another thing that is hopefully coming into, that will factor into the memberships is, well, not even the memberships, but just this channel's life. Well, yeah, partly to the memberships, but I have been kind of slowly building a Discord channel. So that'll be nice to be able to communicate with you all outside of just YouTube. It would be really cool. There are a few of you that I have connected with on Discord already. John Cranberry Landers actually wrote me while I was on vacation through Discord. So that was kind of cool. So yeah. I'm there. I'm not super active on Discord, but hopefully as I build this channel out, I will be more. Timmy Mello says they aren't trying to overtly nickel and dime you for even the food, unlike America. Yeah, it's just, I find that it's easier to be just for everyday life, at least in the countries I visited. And I know that the two, Korea and Singapore, are kind of at the top of Asian countries as far as modernization and like quality of life. And there's some Asian countries that are not even near where they are. But I will say, like, just the everyday stuff, like medicine, the everyday conveniences, food, that was a lot more affordable. And that would be a lot more affordable part of your life. Now they have crazy taxes there for some of the stuff. I don't know much about Korea, but definitely in Singapore, like they have this thing. If you want to own a car there, you have to have a certificate of entitlement, which is a COE, what they call a COE. And that is oftentimes more expensive than the car. It's crazy. Like we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars for a piece of paper to allow you to own a car in Singapore. And a big reason of that is they're just trying to control who can own a car because they don't have enough space for everybody to own a car. Is that a government controlling thing? Yes. Is there a good reason why they're doing it? Yes, because they don't have the space or the, highway system or traffic ability to everybody to have a car. Now, the flip side of that is their public transportation is amazing, and you can get anywhere pretty much in the city on really good public transportation. So if I lived there, I probably wouldn't ever buy a car or go through that process because You can get around on public transportation really easily. So am I being controlled to do that? Kind of, but would I care? Not really, because it's a lot more affordable and it works, you know? Here, it's like if you don't have a car and you have to rely on public transportation, at least in the city I live in, San Francisco, it's not great. I mean, it works, but it doesn't really. Discord is encouraged. Chat lag test initiated for... It's going to be a bad test, Mark. It's going to be a bad test. It's interesting. Keep going. That's pretty neat looking. Timmy Mello. I'm assuming the game? I don't know what. I'm so behind. Mark isn't in Florida. He is in Florida. Americans can't have nice things. You know we can, dagnabbit. We can. There's so many great things about America, but there's so many broken things too. Mark's music obsession is in, Central Time. That's right, in Florida, in Navarre, Florida. Still have my milkshake. Oh, yeah. The old wisdom tooth milkshake. Rocky, you literally stopped my endeavors momentarily because you plagued me with a pick of skip. Oh, that's right. Made me think of you. Are you happy about that? Are you happy about that, emo trash? It was like you and I think it was Chair Psalms, the whole skibbity thing. I don't even know, but they had skibbity popcorn. So there you go. Asia. I am. Rocky, I shifted from going out to eat at the beach to cooking for this stream. Never doubt the dedication. Nice. Thank you, Mark. Big news. Our local comic book shop here won the annual Image Comics Best Comic Shop Award. Are you kidding? An Australian first. Hooray to Comics Etc. Is Comics Etc. the name of the store? Jeffrey Beats? That's awesome. Do you think it's well deserved? Like, is it like a cool comic book store? Because that's great. What a great thing to win. Don't tempt me. I'll hold you. He is behind. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna jump forward here. Jason's been streaming semi-regularly. Emo Trash says, okay. When you have to take a loan out to afford the coming membership dues, it's not gonna be that bad. I'm gonna get guilt tripped into ending. Yes, Comrade Sammy, definitely. Superman goes out on Blu-ray tomorrow already. Timmy Mello, holy cow! I know they've been releasing a bunch of like clips. More clips from the movie recently. I believe James Gunn said because Peacemaker's coming out, so he kind of wanted Superman to be out there. But that was fast. Dang, Blu-ray already. All right. Fantastic Four oddly wasn't that bad. It felt close to the comics outside a few obvious things because of Disney Modern Marvel. Okay. All right. I got to check it out before it leaves the theaters. But it did drop considerably in box office numbers between week 1 and 2. So that made me a little like, oh no. I was hoping it would be like strong like Superman's doing. Awesome One's here. Awesome One.
Yes, that's awesome.
So many old farts in here. That's one thing I haven't. I don't have a fart sound effect yet. I kind of think I need one. Comrade Sammy. Wow, I am behind. I only had 3 of my wisdom teeth pulled. Okay. They let... Something I would not do. Is this a Roblox channel where we harass young people? No. Got coffee. Rocky's not going to put me to sleep. All right. Ironically, they gave them back to me in a tooth-shaped container that was yellow, not white, which I found hilarious. Okay. Not going to lie. I appreciate Trump and all he's doing, but I'm getting news fatigue. Yeah. You know, it was... when you watch news in, it's funny because Singapore is so small and everything's pretty like peaceful and like there's not much conflict. A lot of their news is like a tree fell down on the highway. Everybody watch out for that tree. Like it's kind of like that. And then we didn't watch that much TV or news or whatever in Korea because I don't understand Korean. And, we were just out and about doing most stuff. So So yeah, that was one thing when I came back here and it was like my Twitter, the X feed is going on and like all this political stuff. I'm like, yeah. And everybody was always asking me like, how is America doing? Like, is it in flames? Like all this, like, you know, are you being arrested by ICE? And I was like, it's actually not like that at all. At least not where I'm living. So don't believe everything that you're hearing. You know, it looks a lot worse on TV than it is where you are, but I say that and then watch like I get arrested. Seeing a Korean and especially a Japanese baseball game is a bucket list thing. You should do it, Timmy Mello. You would appreciate it. It's a totally different experience. I had always heard about Japanese baseball games and I heard Korean baseball games were similar. And it was so different and it was really fun. We did something where it was like a package where you like meet up with a guide and it was a bunch of us. So my son and I happened to be sitting next to this mother and her daughter from Switzerland. So that was cool. It was kind of this cool like meeting of cultures and they had never been to any kind of baseball game. They didn't know anything about baseball. And so part of the experience for me was explaining the game of baseball to them while they were watching a Korean baseball. And we were like, well, it's kind of not like this in America, but the rules are the same, but it's a little actually some of the rules were a little different. But anyway, it was fun. It was super fun. So yeah, you should try and do that. Is Korean baseball like Squid Games? No, but Squid Games is a thing there as far as like we saw a bunch of street food vendors and they had those Dalgona, the like cookie thing that's in Squid Games. That was kind of cool. They had a bunch of Squid Games masks and all that. So it's a thing. It's kind of cool. Say thank you in Chinese now, Rocky. I wouldn't even try and butcher that pronunciation. 谢谢. Another evil Kiwi has been presented in the moment I stepped away. Awesome one. See, you've been struggling to find the right stain. I want to color my project, so that's where we are with woodworking. Nice. Okay. All right. I'm jumping ahead here because we have to get to some comics. I can't end the stream without any comics, although I am very far behind. Ketchup if you mustard. Yes. I just had an orange juice and a brownie. See, and that probably cost you like $7, right? I could get like, there was one breakfast that my family and I did. I had like I was so addicted to the coffee in Asia. So good. Their iced coffee there because they basically make it like fresh and they use like condensed milk. It's really sweet. If you like sweet coffee, it's like right up your alley. And I would get like 3 iced coffees in a day. They'd be like this big. They'd cost me like $2 Singapore dollars, which was like, you know, $1.60 or something like that. And they were just so good. So good. Super, super cheap. Oh yeah. So that I was saying is like I had, for one breakfast, we got like 2 iced coffees. We had cut fruit. So they had these cut fruit like in saran wrap. So it was like mangoes, papaya, watermelon. We had 5 of those servings. They're like, you know, this big serving, saran wrap, sliced fruit. 5 of those for $5, $5 Singapore, which is like, I don't know, a little less than $4. The 2 iced coffees, and then these like, I don't even know how to describe it. These like radish spring roll kind of things. It's called popia. But anyway, our whole meal cost for 4 of us for breakfast probably cost us like less than $20, probably like $15 for all of us for breakfast. And then the other day, my son and I, we went and got Mexican food because we didn't eat any Mexican food. I love Mexican food. So that was one of the things I was craving. So him and I got a meal and it cost us like $40 for the 2 of us. I was like, what are we doing wrong here in this country? It's not like the ingredients are that much more expensive. They should actually be cheaper. I don't know. It was crazy. A driver's license isn't good enough. No, it's not about knowing how to drive. It's like just to own the car. Crazy. Yeah. Asians love their dictators. They don't have dictators in Singapore or Korea. Well, actually North Korea does. But no, it's not that. Lindsay Rose is here. What's up, Lindsay Rose?
Roses are red. Violets are blue.
You're actually not that late, because I haven't even got to the comics yet, and I feel really bad about it. I should have just called this My Wednesday Catch-Up, and then just got rid of the comic stuff. But part of the reason why I do this again is because I haven't talked about comics in a long time. And it was really good to go back to the store. I went to 3 stores to pick up all the books I was missing. I went to 3 stores yesterday. And so I went to Amazing Fantasy, I went to Comics Experience, and I went to Mission Comics. And so it was good. It was good to kind of be back in that environment and pick up all the books. Public transportation is un-American. Freedom is not waiting on transit schedules. America. 33 minutes. I'm way, way more behind than 33 minutes. Rocky hasn't gotten to the comics yet, so you're good. Exactly. Mark is producing Bancroft's books. Mark's a loyal fan of Bancroft, so I get that. Let's see. I haven't heard from Cherished in a hot minute. She deactivated her Instagram, so I haven't found her since. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. She's on Discord, everybody. Cherished Psalms is on Discord. He will read this in an hour's time, but comics, etc. is my local comics. Oh, okay. Cool. I think I did read that in less than an hour's time, but that's good. Last women I knew who ghosted viewers couldn't handle the fame and catcalls. Okay. All right, everybody's saying hello. Wait, are you moving to Singapore? No. But maybe if we retire, maybe we would spend more time there because, our family, my wife's family's all there. And, as parents get older, grandparents, whatever, even aging aunts and uncles. That's the thing. Like we visit Singapore maybe once every other year. Because of COVID, it was longer than that at that time. But you see people get older and you yourself get older. So you think about these things like, oh, would we move? But no, we're not moving to Singapore. Not yet anyway. It's a well-deserved award. They have made me buy a few Image comics. They are true comics fans, and the guy that runs it lets me work there as the person that sweeps the floors. Oh, nice. Well, congratulations for winning that award. I don't know what the requirements are that Image Comics gives those awards out, but that's awesome that a store in Australia gets it. That's really great. Rocky fooled us with his charming demeanor. What are the Asians going to do when they realize America has been turned off to televised sports since the George Floyd? Oh gosh. Orange juice and a brownie, an odd combination. I will agree with that. Awesome one is giving us some Korean. We're going to have to translate that later. Lindsay Rose says, I missed you, Rocky. I missed you too, Lindsay Rose. I'm glad you're here. Awesome one. Oy, oy, oy. John vouches for Lindsay Rose missing Rocky. Thank you. Wakanda has a basketball league now. Oh my gosh. I've missed you guys. I missed all of you guys in the comments. When I was in Thailand, I got some street food full meal for $1.20. It's probably cheaper in Thailand. We took a side trip. This is the awesome thing about Asia too. It's like, or at least certain Asian countries. It's like this in Europe too, but you can go easily to another country. We took a bus from Singapore to Malaysia, and it was literally like one stop over, like 5-minute ride, and we were in Malaysia. Got to go through immigration. But that's another thing. The immigration, the whole process of like walking in and out of different countries was so efficient and easy. And then we came back to America and landed, and we were in this super long line, and we were like, oh my gosh, America, come on. Get on the board. Get the cool scanners that make it easy to come in, that like check everything out. Don't be the like one jerky border patrol dude who's like, why are you here? Why are you visiting? And like is really cocky. Like, I hate that dude. But what I was saying was like Malaysia was even cheaper than Singapore. Like Singapore dollar sometimes is pretty competitive with the American dollar. We had a stronger conversion this trip over. But when we were in Malaysia, the ringgit there was like a quarter to a 4 ringgit, more than a little over 4 ringgit to $1. So it was super cheap to buy stuff over there and food. Rocky, Asians get paid $1.50 a day. Some of them do. Just do a comics preview of what you're going to talk about next stream. Maybe. Maybe one book. Okay, let me see. I'm jumping ahead here. Mark says must have been on Discord forever. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm almost caught up. Look at that. Phew, about moving. You know what? If I moved to Singapore, I'd stream from there. It'd have to be a whole new setup, but I'd stream from there. Rocky has come back with TSA opinions. Border crossing, not immigrate. I mean, yes, the immigration dude was not. He was like your typical like I was like, he just hated his job. And then when you go to Asia and the people working there at immigration, they're like really efficient. They're welcoming. At least the ones I'm interacted with, they're welcoming. It's like a good first impression of the country you're walking into. While the immigration guy here, the one we dealt with, was like, he was totally hating life. And I'm like, come on, man. It's like, this is some people's, I'm an American citizen. And it's like, ugh. Don't you want to be like, yo, welcome to America. Come on in. Let's do this. But he was just a jerk. The extra 50 cents is for adults. It's only $1 for a child. You guys. The shipping of art from Singapore would be yikes. Yeah, shipping would be a problem, wouldn't it? All right, let's get to comics. Let's do it. Jeffrey Beat says, if you moved to Singapore, I'd be more in your time zone. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And I appreciate you watching right now. Okay, let's get to it. So what I'm going to do is, one of the things that came while I was gone was this package right here. Wait, I'm way zoomed in here. So yeah, I believe this is, I mean, I know what this is, but I haven't opened it. So I'm kind of excited about it. I don't even really know how to explain this, if it is what I think it is. But this was a kind of a cool, so some of you guys might know this person is in the independent comic space. Peter Samedi, I believe is his name. So he had a campaign, or has a campaign, and if I was more savvy, I'd pull it up, but I forgot to pull it up. But you can look it up. He's printing comics on Newsprint. And this campaign I backed. It wasn't super expensive to back it, but I was very, very interested in it because he's wanting to print on Newsprint, like out of his home. So part of the campaign was to purchase the equipment to print this, but basically he felt like he could do it better than some people had done in the past. And he also has a couple different sizes that he's going to make available to print. So this is like if I'm not mistaken, this is like a service that he's going to start providing to independent creators. And this campaign was not only to help fund him buy the supplies to do it, but to show like his proof of concept of how it would be when he prints. So he has a little thank you note here. Your readership means a great deal for all of us at Alterna. Yeah, I believe that's his comic company, Alterna Press, or Alterna Comics. And he has quite a few campaigns here called King Cryptid. I've never backed any of his campaigns before, but I've heard his name. I think many of you guys must know and have mentioned his name before. So yeah, I just discovered him through this campaign, and I wanted to see what it would look like This is just a little thing about his different campaigns. King Cryptid. But I wanted to see what this printing would look like, because in the future, if I were to print something, I love that there's an ash can size, and I just wanted to see the quality of, oh, this is cool. So nice thing that he did here is he put this pricing calendar, and this is a proof of concept. So he's printing his own stuff or stories that he's produced just to show like what the quality of the print would be. So this is all on a newsprint kind of paper. One of his selling points was, which I thought was kind of funny, was like he talks about how the book lays flatter in the way that he prints it, when other people that print in this way or on this material, like it bends or folds, like it's kind of bows a little bit, but it's really flat. And I will attest to that. It's a very, very flat book. So it's cool. Not only is this like a proof of concept, but he's also giving you like the template and what to expect with the pricing. So that's why I backed it, because in the future for myself, if I were to do something like this, this is totally a viable option to try. I love the quality of the paper. It's got that old school newsprint feel, but it's also got really great color reproduction here. It's a super subtle gradient from red to white. The ink lines look great. That's black and white, which would look really cool. Looks really cool on newsprint. Yeah, this is great. That's cool. I love the color reproduction. And yeah, this ash can size, we've looked at ash cans before on my channel, but he calls them mini comics. So he has a whole different sizing, formatting chart for that too. So like if you print an 8-page ash can and you order 25 full color versions of that, be $1.29 per book. That's pretty cool. Newsprintcomics.com. That's the website he set up for this. So check it out if you're interested in printing some comics on your own. Oh, okay. So this is the same exact book, but he just printed it at the mini comic size. I love this ash can size. It's a great idea. Cool. Yeah, and the print quality is great. Great fidelity on the lines. You don't see any banding. I mean, this is a colored page on the back of a black and white page. You do see a little bit see-through on that page, but not bad. It's not like this newsprint feels super flimsy. It's a good stock. But I'm particularly interested in the black and white, because I think black and white at this format would cool. This cover looks cool. It's like a glossy stock too. Neat. So these little print samplers. Yeah, he had a campaign where you could back it and get these samples. That's cool. Newsprint comic sampler unboxing. Timmy Miller says King Cryptid was a pretty cool concept for a comic. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I don't know much about it, but I had heard his name. I think Pete Cimetti also streams and has other creators on his stream. I believe Shant was on his stream once, promoting Nosfero. Grog. This is the thing. This is always the nightmare with bags and boards, is once that tape gets stuck on a book, it's going to rip it. Okay, cool. First, Pizza Medi. Pizza, that's right. Doesn't the rest of the world only like our money, Lindsay Rose? You know what's funny? I mean, economy aside, I got into a debate with one of my cousins in Singapore, and also my wife. Like, she always kind of has never liked the look of American money. I love American money, the look of it. I think it's like a beautiful system. It's like it's all consistent, this beautiful green color. You know, you clearly can see the different denominations. But most of the rest of the world, their money is like colorful, different papers, see-through parts of it, different sizes. It feels too much like Monopoly money to me, which is part of the reason I'm like, I don't know. But yes, other countries love American money, but I think they love the look of their money better than our money. Awesome one says, I got a shipment from Malaysia 10 years ago that was no different than normal U.S. prices. Interesting. I couldn't tell what I was looking at for a second, Lindsay Rose says. Awesome one says, Zaid Brothers might print on newsprint for a new Western book. Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool. I think that would be appropriate, too. I'm wondering if they're going to do it with Pizza Medi. Speak of the devil, Cherish Psalms is here.
What's wrong, little Pookie?
Where have you been, Cherish Psalms? And you changed your profile picture. There's no more boba. And is that a CD? Cherish CD? How you doing? Cherish keeps changing your account if you'd like to wrench this one too. Oh. So what are you doing, Cherish Psalms? Dare we reward you for changing? Do we have to keep up with this? No, I'll do it. All right. I just modded this new account. Hopefully it's the right one. King Cryptid was a pretty cool concept for a comic, Timmy Mello says. This is my first time changing my account, Cherisalm says. Get ready for me to change it again. Thank you. MMO is number one because he threw money at Rocky. Oh, wait. Is this the top fans thing again? I don't know how that works. I really don't know how that works. It doesn't make any sense. But MMO is number one. I'm just glad finding work for him. Doesn't show on Apple TV, but does on my phone. It didn't even list Cranberry. See, yeah, I don't understand how this... I've tried to look up how the top fans things work, and it's weird. So it doesn't make any sense. What is that supposed to mean? American money is iconic. It is, right? That's awesome. It's a system. That's why I try and tell. There's a system to it. It's a systematic money. It all works together. It looks the same. When you have like different color, different shape, if I mixed up Singaporean money with Korean money, you wouldn't know. It would be all, you wouldn't tell. You would have no idea. That money is nice looking, but it's easier to counterfeit. Maybe. I don't know. They have some cool features. Their paper had like, at least some of the Singaporean money has like transparency and like see-through windows, which I think would be really difficult to counterfeit. Who knows? Feels like Monopoly money to me too. Yeah. Emo Trash thinks foreign money looks cooler than American money. Cherish CD is awesome. My mom came home with a coin from the Bahamas a couple weeks back that had a scalloped edge. Yes, I've seen those. The Singapore dollar coin has like, it's like a coin within a coin, like embedded within a coin, which is kind of cool. I was about to say, don't mod me. World coins are fun. Why would you not want to be in the mod squad? John says. Not consistently here, John. Cherish Psalm says. Okay, it's about chat engagement. Super chats. Cran has been in and out, so this SC didn't weigh much. Super chat didn't weigh much. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Cherish Psalm says, what's your ethnic background, Rocky? My ethnic background is both of my parents are Filipino. So I'm Filipino, but I was born here in America. So, yeah. Filipino, it's funny because Filipino Americans are different than Filipino Filipinos. There's a lot of the culture that just gets lost. Like most of the people that immigrated to America, if they came from the Philippines, wanted their families to be American. And so you'll find if you meet Filipino Americans, probably about 50%, half, maybe less, actually speak the native Filipino language, which is Tagalog, or even understand it. Like I can pick up a few words. I can kind of get the context and the intonation of what people are saying. But I don't speak it fluently by any stretch of the imagination because my parents didn't teach us to. They didn't want us, not that they didn't want us to, but it was more important for them for us to assimilate and speak English and kind of be American. So yeah, but yeah, ethnically, I'm Filipino. Monopoly money is printed on thinner, cheaper paper. US dollars are linen. Yes, I do believe that's right. Because you can wash US money. Yeah, I don't know. It feels different. It feels different than Asian money. Yeah, I don't know. I have a collection of foreign currency for my travels. Lots of cool coins also. Yes. Coin within a coin like a ring? Yeah, I don't have one. Yes, it's like a gold coin and then a ring of like silver around it. It's kind of cool. I feel guilty if I'm a mod and I'm not here for you. It's okay, Cherish Psalms. No guilt. No guilt. Rocky gets lost in the sauce. The Americans, it's a big mess. I could go for a Hispanic guy too. Nice. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard a lot of people think I'm like mixed Asian, white, but no. Filipino. But Filipinos in general, there's a wide spectrum. So some Filipinos look like more Samoan. Some Filipinos look more Chinese. Some Filipinos look more Spanish. I'm kind of a mix of all those. Like my mom's side of the family, they definitely look more Spanish. If you saw my sister, she would pass off as a white person almost. She's really fair. And but my dad's side of the family is a little bit more Chinese-y, Asian-y looking. So it's a weird mix. We're mutts. We're the mutts of Asia. That's right. That's right. I'm American. Drink a glass of concrete and toughen up. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 says, I'm a moderate and I'm never here. You are. Lots of those 2 metal color coins in several countries. Always cool. You're a moderate and you're a mod. Yes. Okay, Geiger. Let's start with a easy one here. Geiger number 16. So the only issue with this issue is it's not drawn by Gary Frank, who is the regular artist on Geiger. It's drawn by this guy who's the most interesting name that I've run across in a while. Eamon Winkle. I'm not familiar with his work, but let's look at it. Gary Frank did draw this cover. I love Gary Frank's work. He's super solid, amazing artist on Geiger. They've only had a guest artist on Geiger maybe once or twice, but I don't think I've ever seen Eamon Winkle before. Same, even a different colorist, so a whole different team. Norm Rapmund is an inker. Norm Rapmund comes from the old Image days, the original Image days. I believe he was working with Rob Liefeld's team. I can't remember, but yeah, I recognize his name. Never heard of this guest colorist, Robert Nugent. So let's see if it holds up. That's cool. So yeah, the last issue, if you guys recall, that looks quite different from Gary Frank. The last issue is kind of coming to a head where Geiger is going up against what's her name? Ashley Arden, who also has kind of that radioactive powers, but she actually can control it better than Geiger can himself. And then the guy who created them, this scientist guy here, things are being revealed about him. So it's coming to a head of all these storylines being revealed. Yeah, I don't know about your artwork, Eamon Winkle. I mean, it's solid. It ain't Gary Frank. Yeah, looks a little different. It's kind of cool though. Gary Frank, he has a little bit more realistic style. He's got great proportions. This guy is slightly exaggerated, but the colors are still nice. Oh, and this is Junkyard Joe. They introduced him a few issues back. That's cool. I like the coloring here. That's cool. Cool coloring. Yeah, I always say, like, I don't know how these Ghost Machine guys have consistently kept the level of quality up there, and then there's books, they're just churning out these books. So it makes sense that there would be a break here and there of like a guest artist to give them a little bit of breather. Yeah, this guy's not bad. Not bad. Really impressed with the colors. For a guest colorist, that's cool. Looks like he just went nuclear. And another guest penciler next time, Eduardo Pansica. So yeah, I guess it looks like Gary Frank's taking a little bit of a break, a couple issue break here. All right. Geiger 16 with a guest artist. Maybe he's related to... Eamon Winkle. That kid had it rough. He did what with his Winkle? Sounds sus. Oh, sure, you won't guilt trip anyone else for not showing up, but I get grilled for it. I see how it is, Rocky. I mean, you are the chat ninja, so it does come with a certain something. What's up, Cheris? Long time no see. It's good. Good to see you, Cheris. I'm glad you popped in here. New profile picture or not. Glad you popped back in here. Cottage cheese. I'm not the biggest fan of cottage cheese. I know it's really healthy for you. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't like that bug looking thing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of bugs either. This comic loves green. Yes. Radioactive green is the theme for Geiger. Classic radiation depiction is always green. You're cherished. That's why. All right, next book. Batman. This one's wrapping up soon. Number 8 of 10. Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. This one is, if you guys remember, each issue is drawn by a guest artist. So every issue is a different artist. Becky Cloonan is the artist on this book. This is a Tim Sale cover. Tim Sale, the original artist on The Long Halloween. This is an amazing cover. Becky Cloonan. I'm trying to think, what has she been known for? I know I'm not super familiar with Becky Cloonan's work. I know she's a known name in comics, but I'm not super familiar with her work. I think she might have done Catwoman series. But I love that. I love this kind of approach that it's all one story told in different chapters, and each chapter is drawn by a different artist. It's cool. And it's kind of their homage to Tim Sale's original stuff, too. It's got a little bit of a penguin in here. It's funny. It's funny to see people's takes on Penguin. It looks like she's leaning into the more like deformed Penguin, where he's got like flippers for hands and these like very gnarly teeth, penguin-y teeth. Some Two-Face. I love Dave Stewart's colors, man. They are so subtle, but they're also like they're not realistic colors. They're exaggerated, stylized colors, but they're really subtle. They're beautiful. Such a masterful colorist. Like, I love this Two-Face. It's great. That's cool. This character was in The Long Halloween. I think this is Harvey Dent's wife. She was a main character in The Long Halloween, but for sure Cloonan is trying to harken back to Tim Sale's version of her. Actually, let me get the original Long Halloween. It'd be cool to compare the two. Because Becky Cloonan's style is quite different than Tim Sale's, but that feels like a Tim Sale drawing. So it's nice that even though these artists are known for their own styles, that they're being pretty respectful with Tim Sale's stuff and what he did on the book. Let's see if I can find an image of... She is. Wow, my light is really bright on that side. So yeah, this is Tim Sale. That's her. So it kind of feels really similar. Trying to see if I can find trying to see if I can find his version of Penguin. This is her too. So yeah, for sure Cloonan was looking at Tim Sale's stuff. That's her. That's cool. Nice establishing shot. Almost feels like a Psycho house. Solomon Grundy. Look at that. That color is awesome. It's like really subtle. The difference in tones here between this shadow and this highlight, but like the shadow has got a little bit more cool coloring here. Then it gives a little bit of punch. And then the most contrast and value right here at that gunshot. That's where your eye goes immediately. Dave Stewart's the man. It's awesome colorist. Wow. I like, if you told me Becky Cloonan's doing an issue, I'm like, man, I might skip it, but I'm really impressed with this artwork. It's great. It's very solid. It's nice. Nice stuff. So yeah, 2 more issues of this. Trying to think. I guess they don't say what Becky Cloonan has worked on. Oh, look at that Brian Stelfreeze cover. That's I wouldn't have picked that for Stelfreeze. Next issue. Oh, Chris Samney. No kidding. Chris Samney is the artist on Batman and Robin Year One, which is a book I've been picking up and I've shown on stream many times. So, interesting that he's working on issue 9. I wonder who's doing issue 10. There you go. Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, number 8 of 10. Great cover. By Becky Cloonan. Okay. Staying with the Batman run. Still picking up this guy, Batman Hush 2 by Jim Lee. Jim Lee's been killing it on artwork for this one. Okay, let's see. No. I typically add salt and pepper to my cottage cheese to make it more interesting. Yeah, there's something about the texture of cottage cheese I'm not a big fan of. That guy on the cover looks like the Toxic Avenger. Solomon Grundy. Yeah, he always looks like a pale albino Hulk to me. What? No Eamon Winkle? Fail. On a new laptop as of around the time just before Rocky disappeared, old one crashed on me and wiped itself. Then upon recovering part of it, some apps wouldn't run anymore. Ooh, that sounds horrible. Ever do the lime jello powder? Lime jello powder in cottage cheese? Ugh. That's interesting. I wouldn't even think those combos, I wouldn't even imagine that combo would work. At least I didn't lose anything that was important for school. Just had to get myself logged into all the portals from the browser. Emotrash says. Lindsay Rose says, I'll try to find her. Okay, give us the link. Because you're a mod, you can do that. Also glad I had enough funds saved to split on a new laptop with grandma. Lime. I found out the girl who voiced Catwoman in Batman the Long Halloween adaptation died a few. Oh, no kidding. I don't even think I watched Long Halloween. Here we go. Lindsay Rose gave us the recipe. Lime green jello salad recipe, cottage cheese, pineapple. That sounds like a weird combination, Lindsay Rose. Tastes better than it looks. Okay. This comic makes me think of Edgar Allan Poe. I mean, it's got that feel. Long Halloween's got that feel. And Tim Sale's artwork definitely has that feel. Or Tim Sale inspired artwork, I should say. It's actually pretty good. All right. Well, I'll try everything once. I did try a bit of durian while I was in Singapore. Have you guys heard of durian? Talk about a weird, I wonder who the native was that tried that fruit for the first time and said, because it's got one of the most pungent smells you can imagine. And I've heard it described many ways. I've heard it described as like petroleum gas, gym socks, all sorts of kind of gross things mixed together, rotten onions. Yeah, it's really pungent. And every time I go back to Singapore, I always have to try it because my wife loves it and a lot of my friends and relatives love it. And it's a very communal kind of fruit to eat because it's so strong, the smell, that you can't just eat it anywhere. And so you have to find your people to eat it with. And a lot of times people just eat it out in the open together and they're talking. It's this whole thing. And so you don't want to be left out of that every time you go back to Singapore. So I try. I really do. Nobody can say I never gave it a try. But I tasted some durian that was actually not bad. And the amazing thing with that fruit is there's a wide range of, it's kind of like wine tasting a little bit. It's like there's a wide range of tastes, and some people like it more bitter. Some people like the texture to be more creamy. Some people like it to be stiffer, or some people like it sweeter. So there's this whole range that you can find. And when you go to Singapore, and this has changed since the very first time I went there. Before, it's like they'd have to cut it open and you look at it and you try it. Now it's all like prepackaged and opened up already, and they kind of label it according to the style that you want. And it varies in cost. It can go from like, $18 all the way up to like $80 for the same amount of fruit, but it's just different quality and different styles. So it's pretty amazing. It's called the King of Fruits over there, but it's also really weird. But I'll try it. I try it. Like I said, I'll try everything once. I think there's this one guy. He had a show on the Food Network. I think his name was Andrew Zimmerman, and he had a show called Bizarre Foods, I want to say. He was the kind of guy that would try anything. He would eat like tree worms and like monkey brains and all this kind of crazy stuff. But he said durian is one of those things that he just could not do. Like out of all the things that he's eaten, it's one of the things that he just couldn't do, which is surprising to me. But yeah. But so lime jello with cottage cheese, although it sounds weird, it can't be weirder than durian. 600 subs. Rocky will try lime jello cottage cheese. I might. If I could get 600 subs, I might do that. You might have to hold me to that. I'm at 598 right now, guys. So 2 more subs. I might do that. I might try it. I can actually imagine you really liking that recipe. Does durian really taste like ham? Ham? I've never heard that description, but I wouldn't be surprised if you found it doesn't. In my opinion, no. It does. I don't even know how to describe how it tastes. It does definitely have an aftertaste or a smell of like, when you have a gas leak, it has that. Like there's something about that smell that's in it. I don't know which one came first. Like if they said, because, gas leaks are odorless and that smell is put into gas. If I understand it correctly, that smell is put into gas so that people can smell it and say, oh, there's a gas leak and I don't die, right? Like, let me fix the problem because I smell gas. But if it wasn't there, you wouldn't know. Well, some durian has that actual smell to it. So I don't know if like that's related. Like they got the smell from durian and put it into the gas or vice versa. But that's for sure in it. When people say onions or like rotting onions, I can definitely understand why there's that like, with onions, like that fragrancy that's like, how do you even describe an onion taste? So that is in there too. But ham? I've never heard of ham. If it tasted like ham, I think I would eat more of it. It does stink though, Timmy Mello says. I've heard of it, but I never had it. Mark's Music Obsession says, I would recommend, if you ever to try durian, and some places have like durian cakes or durian candies, durian ice cream. I've seen it all. there's remnants of the flavor there, but it's the similar of like, I would liken it to like when you eat things that are grape flavored or watermelon flavored. It's not really taste what the fruit tastes like. It's just like the artificial version of it. So when people say there's durian candy, durian ice cream, I would recommend if you were to ever try it, Mark, to try something fresh. Don't get anything frozen. Don't get anything pre-made. To try it fresh. Then you can get the real experience. But I will say that there are many places in Singapore, the actual place, you know, where it's prominent, people love it. Not everybody loves it, but, you know, it's very prominent in their culture. But there are many areas in that country where you are not allowed to bring durians. You can't bring them into cabs. You can't have them in hotel rooms. You can't have them on boats and trains, because if that smell gets into the air conditioning system there, it's never coming out. So it's, you know, it's something that it's so prominent in their culture, and yet they have limits of like where you can go with that stuff. So that says something about that fruit. Is that a fruit? It is a fruit. It is definitely a fruit. I'm going to have to Google durian. So when you do, you'll see that it's like this spike ball. It looks like a weapon. And again, I am so curious about the first person that discovered the fruit, which is like the seed inside this spiky ball casing. That they thought, oh, let's cut it open and eat what's inside that smells really bad. Let's eat it. Let's do it. Like, who was that person that figured that out or even tried that? They sell durian over here in the Asian town area of Cleveland, but I'm too lazy, scared to buy it. It's got to be fresh, not imported, not like frozen and then unfrozen and then sell it. It's got to be fresh for you to try it. And I don't blame you for being scared. If it tastes like sweet custard, as some say, I would like it. So the one that I tried in this trip did have a custardy taste to it, but yeah, don't go in there thinking it's going to be like, oh, it's this sweet. I mean, the texture is, but it's weird. It's weird. It's a weird fruit. Cherish Psalm says, wait, Timmy, you live. It's right. Cleveland is where it's at. I will hold him to this. I will happily hold you to it. The lime jello cottage cheese. All right. Cherish Psalms goes to the Asian Plaza all the time. Nice. Try it myself because it actually doesn't sound bad. I don't like the idea of eating bugs. Yeah, me neither. That's why I would rather eat durian than like any kind of worm or slug or tree grub or whatever. Now, as a fellow Clevelander who goes to the Asian market, you must eat durian. You guys got to go together. Just make it a thing. Meet at the Asian market. Get a durian and then tell me about it. That would be amazing. That would be amazing life YouTube connection. Almost, yes, it does have a garlicky... It definitely does have a garlicky kind of quality to it. It's so bizarre. Maybe they had a terrible or no smell, maybe. I don't know. You should ask the same person who first looked at a cow and decided to drink the stuff that came from its udder. Good point. Good point. Rocky, no, I just told him to eat it. Or even decided to touch it. Right? I've heard, my wife has told me stories. Again, the news in Asia or in Singapore, the like newsworthy items of people getting killed with like durians dropping on their heads. I've never walked underneath a durian tree before. I don't think I've even seen one. Maybe it was like in the olden days, like way back when, before they became super modern. But I've heard it because it's quite heavy and they're quite large. So I can imagine if that thing dropped from on high and hit somebody in the head, you could kill a person. I really like the fish sausages and the beef strips at the market, as well as tamarind. Tamarind's great. The market is a true gem with all the imports you can get. Nice. Sorry, I had a piece of fuzz flying from my head. That person probably saw a cat do it first. To a cow? What are we talking about? Oh my gosh. That would be a great YouTube video of you two trying on. That would be amazing. I'm going to have to get it. Trying to eat more protein, so this would be good. Nice. Beef strips. Do it. Durian, I heard, is really high in calories, actually. So if you eat too much of it, like, you can gain a lot of weight. Like, I don't know why. It's like, it's a fruit. Yeah, I don't know why. It's weird. Okay. All right, let's get through. Okay, Hush 2, Jim Lee, more of the same, but I give Jim Lee all the kudos, all the art cred. He's killing it on this art. It's great. As they have with every issue, they also release that large treasury size edition. I only bought it for the first issue just because it's so expensive. It's $15. So I haven't pulled the trigger for all the issues. I might regret that in the future, but for now I'm just holding off and just getting the standard size for these. Colors are also great on this book. Alex Sinclair is a tried and true colorist. He's worked with Jim Lee a lot. Here we go. This is what we want to see, right? We want to see Batman like punching Bane in the face. Yeah, seems like some sort of plot within the plot is afoot here. I thought, what happened to Riddler? Riddler was introduced at one point. He was going to help out Batgirl and Robin, or Nightwing. That's cool. It's a great double page spread right there. I didn't know she could cloak. Oh, it's some sort of tech she's using. That's cool. It's a cool like inverse drawing to show she's like in cloaking mode or whatever. Then he flips on these heat sensor. Oh, there's the Riddler. Yeah, I think they're just bringing in all the whole gallery for Batman. This is just some previews for other books. Oh, they have a little tribute to Jackson Geis, Butch Geis. There we go. Batman Hush 2. It's still cool. It's solid. I've been saying this. I have to read the first Hush again because I haven't. When I first read it, I wasn't that impressed with the story so much, but now with Hush 2, it's like I feel like I need to read it again. Let's see. I love sweet fruit. Yeah, I don't know if I would categorize durian as sweet. It's a weird one, guys. Durian is not to be trusted. The way Batman is drawn on the Hush page is phenomenal. Let's see. Oh, yeah. That's cool. I mean, it's just like money shot after money shot. Jim Lee is like, he's He's not dialing it in, that I can tell. It's just cool. Great artwork. Brain. Jim Lee can do sequential scribbles in his sleep. Yeah. I mean, he really is. He's kind of hit that stride of like, I would love to see him work now. Like what his working process is now. Cause it seems like it's just all just kind of flows out of it. It doesn't seem like he's struggling with anything. He's got the Jim Lee thing down and he just cranks it out. We actually got to see one of the Luther Corps military truck movie prop at Progressive Field on Superman Night a few weeks back. Nice. They brought it out. Was it for the during a game? They had it there. That's cool. Shelby's back. Just got back. What's this about how you can delete a person? Delete a person? Sean Springball could have a durian on the end of his whipcord. Deadly. He should fight. I should create a character called the Durian. Oh man, that guy would have like all the repulsive powers. Who are we deleting? Yeah, that's my question. I think it's called a cudgel or flail. Yes. There's also that dinosaur. I think Ankylosaurus that had the like ball, like spiky ball. Or was it even a spiky ball at the end of his tail? Oh dang, the video was quite a bit behind. You're telling me that? Probably. Okay. Absolute Martian Manhunter. Let me see, make sure I'm at the right. This is. Oh yeah, that's farther out. Okay, that's the right. Okay. This book has been cranking actually, and it's just getting crazier and crazier. But I'm still into it. I'm totally into it. It's so different. Truth be told, this is going to sound crazy, but I still haven't read issue 4. This is issue 5. I still haven't read issue 4. And yesterday when I went to the store, I saw issue 5 on the rack and I'm like, wait, issue 4 came out? So I bought issue 4 and issue 5 yesterday. And then I looked back on my pile of books that I have to read. And I already had issue 4. I just haven't read it yet. And I forgot I bought it, which is crazy because the cover is so striking on issue 4. Striking in a sense is like, you know, once you see it, you're like, oh yeah, you know, it's kind of distinguished. And I can't believe I looked at that and said, I didn't buy that yet. When I looked at it, I'm like, I've never seen that cover before. I must have not bought 4. But I did. Now I have 2 copies of 4. Crazy. And I still have to read 4. So I don't even want to like look closely at the story here because I might miss something. Or something might be revealed before I even read 4. You know you're behind when you have multiple issues of the same book that you still haven't read. But this is kind of cool. It's like the coloring that he's doing on this, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Javier Rodriguez is doing his own colors. Yeah. This is what I like when I'm talking about the Long Halloween book that was colored by Dave Stewart, and I'm like, oh, his colors are stylized, but they're really subtle. This is a version of like stylized colors that are not subtle at all. These are almost like super poppy, super stylized, where he's using these complementary colors, just 2 colors for midtone and then shadow. So the complementary colors of blue and orange, blue being the shadow color and orange being the midtone. And then that's it. Then he uses like white here and there. But doesn't look anything, that's not natural color, right? That's very stylized, but it's got a feel to it and look to it. And it kind of goes along with this whole book. It's cool. I like it. I really like it. just because it's really different. And I might have mentioned this before in previous streams. Martian Manhunter is not a character who I'm like, oh, he's this certain way. Like, I don't care if you reinvent him. So it's kind of cool. They go in this like trippy mind trip of his world. Look at that color's crazy. This particular panel, I couldn't even tell you what he was thinking of with the color scheme on that. I mean, I see the complementary colors, but it's crazy. That was a crazy mix of colors right there. It almost looks like screen printing. There's Darkseid. Whoa, crazy. Who Darkseid is kind of the impetus for all these Absolute books. So, they're like introducing him here. Trippy. There you go. Absolute Martian Manhunter, number 5. Even though I have to still read 4. But more... just seems like it's getting crazier and crazier. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they just announced that they're going to continue. I think maybe the initial run was maybe 6 issues, but I think they're going to make more because the response has been really good on this book. So it's cool. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of the Spider-Verse, like super stylized coloring here. It's like you can see the brush strokes. Oh, that was another movie that I watched on the plane, was Beyond the Spider-Verse again. Was it Beyond that? No, Across the Spider-Verse. That was good. That was a good movie. Okay, this one will be a quick one to flip through because I do remember I went through issue 1 of this. This is Wolverine Revenge, the red band raw, what they call the raw edition. And I don't know if you guys remember this. When I opened it, the first one, I was like, oh, it's just a black and white. Cool. Okay, just seeing the black and white of Capullo's art. I'll give it 1 issue. And then I opened it up and I was super psyched because for them, for this black and white edition, what they're doing is they're treating it like an artist edition. So it's the pencil work, which is infinitely cooler than just seeing black and white pen. Just getting a black and white version of the artwork that I already have. This is awesome to see the pencils. So when I saw issue 2 was out, I was like, yep, I'm in. It's great. Yeah, Capullo's another one of those who's like, he's kind of hit his stride in his career, where he just can go in autopilot mode, which seemingly, I'm sure it's not that simple, but he can seemingly just go in autopilot and just crank this stuff out, and he can draw anything because he's just worked so long and has kind of perfected his style. Timmy Mello says, yes, time to take the outables for Absolute Martian Manhunter. Mark Music Session says, I hear thunder again. It has rained way too much in the past couple of weeks. I I'm I'm just guessing, but I think your rain is more like the rain in Asia, or at least when we were in Singapore and Korea. When it rains, it's like it rains hard, but then it's like nice and cool afterwards, like tropical rain kind of thing. The rain that we get here in the Bay Area, it kind of just like spits at you a little bit, and then it's like you never know when it starts or ends, and I hate that kind of rain. I really like the like heavy rain, thunderstorm rain, and then stop. Cranberry Landers back. Did your movie end? Oh my gosh. How long? 2 hours. We've been going 2 hours and 42 minutes according to my time. And your movie ended already, Cranberry? How was it? Is that related to the comic, Timmy Mello? The edibles? It's a joke about the theme of this comic. The version of Martian Man is trippy. Oh, yes. Absolute Martian Manhunter feels like a 2D version of 90s Joel Schumacher film. It's not. No, I didn't like his films at all. His films were weird. His films, Joel Schumacher's Batman films, felt like Happy Meal Batman, like consumer product Batman. Someone saw the gigantic shell bean sitting on my bass amp in the music room the other day. I got questioned. Mark's music obsession. Did you not think of that when you got it, when you bought it, that people would ask what that was? Nice Martian Manhunter cover, by the way. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. See you later. He's checking out because there ain't no bande dessinée in the works or on the table. This is great. Great to see. That is not an easy perspective, so that's cool. Really tight pencils from Capullo. It's kind of cool to see the level of detail or tightness that pencilers will do depending on who's inking them. So I guess they're just doing this red band raw for all the issues, which is unfortunate for my wallet, but fortunate for me as a comic fan. It's great. All right. Wolverine Revenge #2. That's how you end up with the police knocking at your door, Mark's music obsession. Having that shell bean. Ice is coming for you. Sequential Abstract. That's Dark Side? Yes. Oh, Sequential Abstract. That's right. That's a great term. Timmy Mello for the Absolute Martian Manhunter. It looks like Dark Side. It does. And I think he for sure has a part to play in the whole Absolute universe. I know that I never bought the issue that kicked it all off, but I'm pretty sure if and when they wrap up all the Absolute runs, they're going to do a big Dark Side event. Composite Batman. It's really hot here in the rain, only makes it more humid, no cool down. Bummer. I originally read it time to make the edibles. Like time to make the donuts. Time to make the edibles. Vanilla Ice coming for you, Mark's music obsession. Ding, 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 ding. All right. Wolverine #1. So I heard about this book. Apparently this was a story that Chris Claremont wrote and it was in some sort of compilation that's hard to find. So this is a reprint of it, but it was never in a single issue format. And I'm a huge Chris Claremont fan, so I thought I'd check it out. The cool thing I didn't know, and that I found out when I looked at this on the stands, was that the artist is Tom Riley. And Tom Riley, I don't know what year this came out, but Tom Riley, the original story came out, he was the artist on the Duke miniseries, and then now on the current G.I. Joe revamp. And I love Tom Riley's work. So I was pleasantly surprised that he was the artist on this Chris Claremont thing. But Tom Riley's got this Chris Samney, super clean, kind of Tothian style a little bit in his artwork. I love this version of Sabretooth. It's like a weird circus performer, monkey man costume. Yeah, some classic X-Men fighting. Rogue's always accidentally touching somebody and stealing their powers. That's just what Rogue does. Lockheed. Yeah, these are all the classic takes on the X-Men here. The Storm with the Mohawk. It's cool. I dig it. Chris O'Halloran is the colorist. Never heard of him, but he did a nice job of coloring Tom Riley stuff. Classic Frank Miller cover. That's so excellent. Joe Quesada print or a pinup here. That's actually a book, the Joe Quesada's book. I think I looked at first two issues. The World is Coming with the white Black Panther. I've been really disappointed with that book. Specifically the artwork. Let's see. Contains material. So this story was originally published in a magazine in 2021. Oh, okay. And so they're just reprinting this story on its own. This is a nice cover by Steve McNiven, kind of hearkening back to the Frank Miller Wolverine fighting ninjas in Japan. Stephen McNiven, he seems to be vibing a lot off of Frank Miller stuff recently because he's doing that Daredevil story too. That's kind of like Daredevil Born Again. Anyway, this is cool. Glad I found this. This was not actually, I couldn't find this in a few of the stores that I was at, so I'm glad I found this. Wolverine #1. Yes. Under Pressure. So that was a supplemental story to some collected edition of something Wolverine related. Weird that they would revisit as a floppy unless it has some relevance to a current project. It's true. Why would they bring this back? Unless it's like some sort of like Chris Claremont like anniversary or something. One thing that I did post on X a couple weeks ago that I found or reposted was, you guys know the master study I'm working on is that John Byrne master study, the Elsewhere. Well, they officially announced at San Diego Con, Comic Con, which happened while I was gone on vacation. They announced that they're formally publishing his Elsewhere series. So somebody's inking it and I think coloring it too, and they're going to produce it as an actual book. So that's kind of cool how timely that I started doing that master study. Maybe if I ink it and post it enough, maybe they'll hire me as an inker. No. Okay, 2 more books, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and catching up. It's been awesome talking to you all here. But stick around for these last 2 books. These are fun. And hit that like. Hit that like. And we're looking for 2 more subscribers because apparently when we hit 600, I've got to do something with lime jello and cottage cheese. I think some sort of recipe that I'll have to reference. I bought Wolverine #1 too. Great to look back at something good. More action than story. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to read it. Chris Claremont always gets my interest piqued, and then paired up with Tom Riley is really cool. So I was pleasantly surprised. There has been some Chris Claremont stories, at least more recent ones or books that he's worked on that I didn't really like the artist. So I didn't pick those up, but this one's cool. That Sabretooth is better than what we have now. Yeah, I love that classic Sabretooth. Who drew that Sabretooth the best? That version of that costume was Alan Davis. I loved it when Alan Davis drew that Sabretooth. Now I can't get the dancing police out of my head. This one was great, but too short. This week I picked up X-Men 20 with Campbell cover and giant-sized X-Men 2. How are those giant-sized X-Men's? I'm not a huge fan of... I mean, I love the original giant-sized X-Men. I'm not a huge fan of them. Like, isn't Miss Marvel in those? X-Men 20. Wow. Mark's music obsession. Uh-oh. Here he goes. Posting some sort of image. Ah. Oh my gosh. That Shelby is huge. All right. We got to share this. Let's see, where we were. Screen share. This is the picture that Mark just posted that link. And my eye immediately went to the small yellow one, but then to see the large black Shelby, that's massive. Next to that base, I would have questions too. I'd be like, all right, Mark, what's this about? That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that image, because that is crazy. My mate Ray is lending me his Exquisite Corpses comic. So far, so good. I've been really enjoying this. It's I actually saw that they released bag versions that have some of the exclusive trading cards. I have not picked any of those up, and kind of don't want to get caught up in that because I feel like it's going to be, oh shoot, I'm going to have to end up spending more per issue. But as far as the story and the pacing and the characters in it, I've been really enjoying this one. Actually, one of the... I was super psyched I found this in a different store. But I'm very excited about... Oh, man. So, no thanks to Shelby, or thanks to Shelby. I've been... starting to get into the blank. I haven't drawn in any of these, which is stupid, but it'll happen. So I'm starting to collect them. This is probably how you get started. This is the slippery slope that you fall under when you start on the blank cover sketch world. But I found a blank cover sketch for Exquisite Corpses #1. So I'm really excited about this because I love a lot of these characters that they're developing in the story, and I would love to draw my version of the characters. So I was pretty psyched about finding a blank cover for this. So that will be in the works sometime in the future. So anyway, let's look at number 3 here. Exquisite Corpses. Just to recap, it is kind of like a Squid Games, Running Man. There's Elite. How many families? I think 13 families or something like that. Super, super rich, powerful families that run the world, or I don't know if it's the country or the world. And so once a year they get together and they compete, and they each pick their challenger to fight on behalf of their families. And this whole series, Exquisite Corpses, is kind of like watching the game unfold. And if I'm not mistaken, at the end of each issue, they have like the bracket system so you can see who's been killed. So it's been awesome. And, you know, the story is not rocket science, but it's told really well. And they have, each family has their own take on why they picked the certain villains or whatever to represent their families, and the little rivalries that they have between other families. So it's really cool. Who is that guy? Eamon Winkle, right? That artist on that Geiger. Check out this writer's name. Pornsack Pitchashot. I was like, that's a name right there. That's a name. It's actually a popular writer right now. Even if you don't reach 600 by the end of the stream, I'm going to hold you to that. Comrade Sammy says, I gotcha. Yeah, it doesn't have to be in the... I mean, it would be nice if the stream if we hit 600, but it doesn't have to be. Jeffrey Beat says, the giant-sized X-Men aren't great. I kind of felt that. The art is awesome. The story is filler. All right. Thank you for letting us know that. Cool cover for, yeah. They've got this cool style that they're doing for these books. This indie vibe to it. And I don't think it's the same artist. I think these artists are kind of going back and forth between drawing, or either they're working together or something. But yeah, another kind of stylized take on the coloring. This is Jordi Belair's colors, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And she does very stylized. She's won a few awards recently. She's kind of one of the it colorists right now. But she makes some very bizarre choices, not in a bad way, just like I don't understand the color, how she thinks of color. But it's really cool. And it works well for this book. Yeah, this guy is one of the competitors. I think his name's Nurse Pete, which is messed up. Has a horror vibe to it. Definitely like Squid Games, like body horror, violence, over the top, make you sick to your stomach. Yeah, this is one of the plot things, is this gal here, I believe her sister is fighting on behalf. So it's like there's an added level of, not only do you have somebody fighting on behalf of your family, but it's somebody she's related to. Oh, there you go. Nurse Pete got eliminated. Spoiler alert, got eliminated in this one. But they're also, the thing that Tinian is doing, he's the writer with this series, is there's like some sort of game component to it, and that's why some of the issues that are bagged come with a trading card, and I think it's part of the game that they've developed too. be cool. Danny, sorry, this I'm totally getting distracted. This artist Danny is the one that was working on. Do you guys remember one of my reviews? The solo missions of G.I. Joe solo missions. One is Jinx, and that was the artist on the Jinx, which looks like that. Yeah, here it is, the game. So I think they include some of these cards with those blind bags. I should buy one of these days. There's only one store that I know that carries the blind bag variant, so I should buy one. Next time Exquisite Corpse comes out, maybe I'll buy one of the bags with the card in it. There you go. Exquisite Corpse number 3. Corpses number 3. Yes. This long of a comeback stream and no Shant or Bancroft. For shame. For shame. For shame. How dare they call me their friend. We got 14 likes so far. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. One more comic. Here we go. And then we'll wrap it up. I actually had other stuff I was going to talk about, but I had so much to catch up. This one, I was really, really looking forward to this book. And depending on whether or not I like this first issue, I'll keep it up. But just the advertisement of this book piqued my interest. So this was printed by Bad Idea Comics, which is the same company that does that book called Planet Earth. Oh, no. Sorry, Planet Death, that I've reviewed a couple times on stream. They came out with Planet Death 0, then Planet Death issue 1 came out. Great artwork and very simple story. I think the author is the guy who created John Wick, the movie John Wick, that story. So this was another book that they advertised they were coming out with, and part of the reason why I wanted to pick it up was Wayshak. Jonathan Wayshak is the artist on this, and he's kind of got this cool Sam Keith, very expressionistic, dare I say Jason Bascom-ish style. I know Jason loves this guy's work too. And the first time I saw Wayshak's, I follow him on social media, but the first time I saw his artwork was an issue of Violator that he did, a Spawn Violator. So I saw a couple sample pages of this when they were advertising the book, and I was like, okay, cool. And so it was cool to see this first issue out. And he does this. It almost feels like I can almost see him just like drawing and like painting at the same time, just all on top of each other, which is why it feels like Sam Keith, Bill Sienkiewicz, Jason, like just kind of somebody's just like in it. Like they're not, it's like a comic / painting style. And they printed it. Remember Bad Idea had this whole thing about printing on newsprint, which full circle goes back to the Pete Samedi comic, but they printed this on this newsprint and it works really well. Feels really nice, and it feels great for this art style. It's very textured. This newsprint's kind of a textured paper. And it feels artsy, kind of independent. But yeah, this is like artwork's cool on this. It doesn't feel computery at all. It feels very much hand touched, hand done, which I love. I love how it goes in and out of black and white too. It's kind of cool. It's like the borders aren't clean lines. They're just like hand-drawn borders. I love this kind of stuff. This hand lettering here for the sound effects or like emphasis. Emo Trash says Exquisite Corpses is a name that never caught my attention so fast. Well, you've heard of like the art Exquisite Corpse, right? So Exquisite Corpse, I've heard as like in art projects is where somebody will draw. So I've seen this done in comics before. Somebody will draw the panel or like a page, and I've seen this done multiple different versions of this, but the way I've seen it done is like somebody will draw like a first page, and then whatever their last panel is the first panel for another person, another artist, and the other artist, the next artist will only see that last panel. So they have no idea what happened in the story up to that point. So then they'll take that last panel and then they'll draw whatever, a whole other page or a sequence, and then whatever is their last panel will go to the next artist, and so on and so forth. And so at the end, when you read it all as one story, it's kind of cool to see like, oh wait, that's not how that person got to that last panel at all, and it turns into a totally different story. I've seen like there's some like party games you play where it's a similar concept, but that's where I feel like that's where that term Exquisite Corpse came from, but they took it to another level for that book with the like Squid Games kind of thing to it, and the dead bodies. Yeah, this is really cool artwork. I like it. It's like a new generation of Sam Keith, because he would do this kind of stuff, this painted stuff on top of pen and ink work. Very hand done, multimedia, mixed media, I should say, feel. Mixed media is actually the right term. It's another book, Survive. It's kind of cool seeing it printed on this newsprint stuff. What is going on in this story? This is totally a reference of 101 Dalmatians. This guy right here, his design is totally the character from 101 Dalmatians. Whoa. Who is that artist? That's cool. Bad Ideas doing some interesting stuff. Definitely interesting, different stuff, and I like it. Yeah, who did this story? There you go. Cul De Sac, #1. That looks like cool. I mean, if the story's good, I'll keep picking up the book because the artwork's great. It's a great, different feel to it. And it's nice to see Wayshak kind of spread his wings a little bit more in this direction, especially with the coloring on top of his pen and ink work. His already very expressive pen and ink work. Bancroft is probably sleeping in. Only 9 a.m. on this side of Australia. Jeffrey Beats says, thanks, Rocky. Good to see you back. Got to bounce by, chat. See you later, Jeffrey Beats. Thanks for stopping in. Always great catching up with you, and it's good to be back. Where are those nail clippers? That's right. Cut these suckers. You're here, Jeffrey. He has no excuse. That's right. Representing Australia. Pretty good art and layouts in the comic. Cranberry Langer says great colors. K-pop Demon Hunters look like a good movie. Go check it out, Cranberry. I'm curious to see. I don't know if it would fit if I were to guess, you might not be the audience for K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm a sucker for like catchy music kind of stuff. So yeah. But yeah, I really like the art direction in that, and just the story itself was good, and the characters were good, and so yeah, I'd be curious to see how you felt, what your review on that movie would be. When's the next master study going to be? Good question, Comrade Sammy. I mean, let's see. I like Cul De Sac's art. Heard good things about it, Cran. Yes, yeah. Go watch K-pop Demon Hunters. It's doing really well, and I would call it a global phenomenon based on wow, did it get brighter outside? I'm totally overblown now because I think the sun, yeah, definitely got brighter outside. So I'm gonna turn down my light because I don't like looking at it. So I would call it a global phenomenon because when I was in Asia, specifically in Korea, man, those songs were playing like not just at the Korean baseball game, but they were playing at like at the mall, on the radio, in the cabs, like everywhere, and people were singing it all the time. So yeah, they kind of marketed it properly, and then they just totally drove it home. And the execution was great on that movie. So yeah, check it out. Comrade Sammy says, honestly, I didn't think I would like K-pop Demon Hunters, but it was pretty good. It was. Yes. I heard the title was a bad choice, but the movie's doing well, so maybe not. K-pop Demon. I mean, they made no mistake on what it was meant to be. Let's just say that. So I think they delivered. They delivered on it. It could have gone really bad. When I first heard about it, I was like, really? I don't know, guys. I think you're just running on a trend, Like there's so much K-drama out there. K-pop's really popular. I was like, you're just trying to ride on those coattails, but they did a good job. Yeah, I felt my skin burning. I was like, all right, let's see what else here. Yep. All right. I mean, that was a long stream, but it was. I had a few more things, not comics, but stuff I was going to go through. One of the cool things in that comic art street. So I'm working on that video. I should have that video done probably next. Oh, Comrade Sammy asked me about the master study. I have the video that I'm working on about that comic street, excuse me, in Korea. And one of the cool things, I will do this on another stream. One of the cool things is one of the buildings there was like a school for content creators. So I had to ask the girl that was working there, I was like, what is that content creator? And it was pretty much people that draw webtoon comics or web comics, and I don't know if it was like a school or if it was just like a collaborative or like a studio, but pretty much they call them content creators that create online content, and they train them in it. I took some video inside there, but what was neat was they had little like advertisements for the comics that have come out of this school. And yes, they're very manga influenced. Good thing Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 left, because he would poo-poo on this. Mo Biggs is not here. He would poo-poo on this too. But it was kind of cool. So I pulled out a bunch of these cards, and pretty much on the back of the cards, they give a QR code where you can look at the samples of their work. And I thought that would be kind of cool to see. This was stuff that you would not find, I don't think you would find easily here in America, or be exposed to it easily in America. Maybe it's popular in Korea. I have no idea. But I thought it would be a cool thing to look at, just to see like, oh, this is all coming out of one content school. We don't have stuff really like that here. We have art schools, but I don't think we have like a comic focused studio or education center which is a really neat idea. You know, I don't even know what their classes are like. I actually pulled a brochure, but the brochure is all in Korean. So I have to translate it and find out what this school is all about. But I will do that, and maybe I'll do that for next time, or some sort of stream when we look at this. But I thought it would be cool to live stream pulling up some of this content and just looking at it and talking about it and seeing, hey, this is what the Korean web comic content creators are creating right now. And yeah, it'll just kind of give us a taste of another culture's comic culture. So that's that. I won't do that now because this stream has gone on long enough, but that is something we can do in the future. And then for sure, once I finish that video, I will let you guys know about that comic street, because it's so weird and kooky and kind of cool. But it'd be a cool thing for you guys to look at, and again, see a part of comic culture there. There were comic book stores in Singapore. I only went to one. I only had time to go to one, and it was kind of cool. Actually, Shelby would have liked this store because there's a lot of CGC stuff, more than I see normally at least my local stores here. It was all about the CGC books and a lot of trades. But it was the most focused on like buying CGC books, like in their plastic cases. They're all graded. So that was kind of cool. I asked it, hey, can I take a video? And they're like, no. They weren't as forthcoming as some comic book stores here in America are, at least. So I think they thought it was kind of weird. And then to answer your question, Comrade Sammy, when is the next master study? I'm assuming I will shoot for doing that beginning of next week sometime. I'm so rusty because I haven't drawn any comic stuff in almost a month. And I'm antsy to continue on the page with the John Byrne Elsewhen page. I've only done one stream on that page. My hunch is I probably can finish it in a total of 3 streams, so probably 2 more, maybe 3 more, but 2 more, I think. So yeah, I want to get on that. So keep an eye out. Probably will stream sometime beginning of next week on that one, probably before Wednesday. So I'll send out a notification for that. And for those of you who didn't see that stream or that first live stream of the John Byrne Elsewhen page, go back and check it out. It's up. I can show you guys the page right now. But yeah, it's been cool because I didn't have to pencil it. I just printed out John Byrne's pencils, but you know, this is where we're at so far. Trying to channel my best Terry Austin inks on this one. And I've been inking this one with the pen nib, the dip pen nib. So yeah, that's been fun. So yeah, that's what's coming up on this channel. And then I also, as we shoot towards 600 subscribers, am also working on the memberships. So now that we are approved for memberships, officially approved for memberships, trying to build that out and kind of roll that out in a good way that can be exciting and enticing for people to actually want to do memberships. So trying to figure out, you know, incentives to make that worth people's while and money and my time. So yeah, lots in the works. Got a lot to catch up on, but I'm so glad I caught up with you guys today. You've kept me awake. I do feel my energy level going like take a nap, but I can't, because if I nap now, I will not be able to sleep well later. So thank you for keeping me awake. My my online caffeine blast from all of you. So good seeing you guys all. So many of you showed up, except Shanthan Bancroft. No, but so many of you guys showed up, and it was so good seeing you. Thank you for chatting with me and catching up with me. Hope my little Asian excursion gave you guys something interesting to learn about my trips. And yeah, I'll be seeing you guys soon. It should be get back more to the regular schedule of things now that I'm back stateside. So yeah, stay tuned for more good stuff from this channel. My name is Rocky Ballesteros. Thank you for joining me. If you love comics, if you love comic art, and just the crazy chat group that we have here, please hit that subscribe button. I think it's over here. Hit that like on your way out and tell your friends about it. We're moving on up in this space and yeah, just growing this channel out. So it's really exciting. I'm super jazzed and rested from my vacation. So should be hitting this stuff hard and getting more to you guys soon. Thank you so much. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and I will catch you soon. Anything else? Make it a late night stream, Comrade Sammy says. Okay, we'll see. It might work out for me because I'm dealing with jet lag, so it might work out for me. Rocky has to get back to his crypt. That's true. Vampiric Rocky. That's true too. Why do you take time to answer my good question? Yeah, why don't you take a time to answer my good question? Did I miss your question? Oh, yeah. The John Byrne question. Got it. South Korean webcomics are very high quality. Oh, great. I'm glad you know that, Cranberry. We'll find out. Let's do that. I'll earmark that as like part of a stream, whether that's a Wednesday comic stream or a separate stream. I'll earmark that. Content Creator School. Yeah, it is. Maybe we got it. There's the Kuba. Yes, you're right, Timmy Mello. There is the Cooper Art School. I feel like there's something in YouTube that could be something content creator too. Let's do it. Cranberry Langer's given us a list of... Are those South Korean comics? Oh. All came from webcomics. Oh, gotcha. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know One Punch Man and Mob Psycho. Cool. I just picked up, or from my library, I was rereading Ghost in the Shell, the original Ghost in the Shell. Man, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Webcomics are huge. Yes. I've never gotten into webcomics, so this will be nice to kind of scratch the surface. Make it a late night stream. Oh yeah, you said that. That's pretty fast. Well, not really. I'm kind of slow. No offense, but I vote no on the late night. I mean, make late night, but also reason time for Mark to show up. How was your break? You looking forward to starting up again? Good seeing everybody. Members get triple poll votes. Maybe. I'm going to write that down, Mark. They get more power. Members votes count more. That's kind of sneaky. That would get Mark to sign up, even though he already was. Okay, thanks for having us. Later, everyone. Where's the subscribe button? It's got to scrub back. Yeah, the first hour and a half. Feel better, Sammy. Okay. Soul 11, Tower of God, Omniscience Reader are all Korean. Thank you, Cranberry Landers. That's awesome. Love it. All right, everybody. Take care. See you later. Where's my outro button? I'm going to give you one more of these. Prior warning for the late night streams. That was my super chat, my new super chat video. Flat out cheating, Comrade Sammy. Is it though, Comrade Sammy? Because if somebody's plunking down a little bit of money for a membership, is it cheating? I don't think so. I think it's capitalism. Timmy Mello second recommending Mob Psycho 100. Nice. All right. See you guys later. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.